You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, 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 what it do, what it do? Good, great, grand evening to y'all wonderful, beautiful people. My brothers and sisters, brethren and sisters, and boys and girls, ladies and lads, hermanos, mi hermanas, kings and queens, and everything in between. Y'all know what time it is. The doctor's in the house. Oh, yeah, we here today's. We got a couple things to talk about, man. We got a couple things to talk about. The chop bout. You know what I'm saying? We got a couple things to chop about. You feel me? So let's get right to it. You know, let's hit this roll call first. You know what I'm saying? I see two of the homies in the chat. You feel me? We got my boy Patrick Bamundele in the building, man. I love that name, man. Salutations, my brother Patrick Bamundele in the building, man. My brethren right there, man. It's a strong name right there, man. Put some respect on it. We got my brother, my Boricua brethren, Defying Irony in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. We got to hit this roll call. We have Boys Be Crying, a.k.a. BBC. We going to pause that. Yeah, we going to pause that.
No diddy.
But yeah, BBC in the building. That's not what I call him, chat. That's what he calls himself. Let's be very clear on that. You know, but before we get to the shenanigans, this is why we always got to start off with a prayer, because it gets a little wild. So we got to make sure that we cover all our transgressions and our debauchery that's about to transpire during the course of the show. So please join me with our ritual by thanking the Most High for always blessing us to see the brightness of another wonderful day. So please join me and bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for your blessings. We thank you for all your glory. We thank you for your mercies. We thank you for your kindness and your love, and the fact that you are so great that you never forget any of us, not a hair on our head or anything at the bottom or a corn on our foot. If you have corns and bunions, you know, we don't have those either. We rebuke those too. But oh Lord, we thank you for just always having everything accounted for. We thank you for having plans that for us that exceed our own dreams and expectations, as long as we remain faithful. So we ask you for the courage to be strong in times that is difficult. We ask you for the strength to be kind, and also the patience to be understanding with not just ourselves and our situation, but others in their situation as well. We ask that we go forth, not just into today, but every other day with a state of mind that reflects peace and love, even when it's hard to. Please forgive us for our sins, especially those unbeknownst to us, and just continue to grant us peace, love, and prosperity. In Jesus' name, amen. 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 Let's get it, man. He said, my picks for Jake Paul card, Dorticos and Schofield. You have Schofield beating Tevin Farmer, and you got Dorticos pulling off the upset against my boy Zerto. Oh, yeah, we might have to kick you out. That's crazy. Don't do my boy Zerto like that. We rock with Zerto on this side. That's my guy. He said, Armando Castillo says, saludos, mi hermano, Dr. Boxer Talk. Hey, saludos, mi hermano, from your bro in Tijuana, Mexico. Tijuana, Mexico in the building. Yes, sir, my guy Armando, man. Mi hermano Armando, man. Salutations, saludos, brethren. Amen, Patrick. But yeah, let me pull up the chat real quick. And we also wanted to bring up we got some good news, chat. I know some of you are relatively new rocking with the channel, and I appreciate it. Shout out to those that know me for a little minute, man. You know that I was one of the first people, as far as not the first people on earth, we ain't gonna take all that credit, but as far as one of the first people abroad internationally, and I would even venture to say from a YouTube channel boxing perspective, I was one of the first content creators, Irony, you can attest to this, correct me if I'm wrong, to really get behind Liam Paro. I actually, I remember back in 2024, we do the Dr. Boxing Talk Awards, Boxing Talk Family Awards, BTF Family, and I gave him the award for having the best forecast of the year, meaning that in 2024, I said that, sorry, 2023, excuse me. I said 2024 was going to be a big year for Liam Paro, and it no doubt was. He beat Montana Love, and then he went on to the backyard of Subriel Matias in Puerto Rico and took that belt against the then so-called boogeyman. And I say quotations because not that Subriel Matias is not good. I'm just saying that I always thought that maybe it was a little premature to call him the boogeyman on 140. Not that he wasn't good, though. It's just that I wasn't sure how many people are actually avoiding him besides Teofimo. I know Teofimo's avoiding him. But, and I would even say maybe Richardson Hitchens wasn't excited. I wouldn't say he ducked him, but I would say he wasn't excited to fight Subriel. But Liam Paro was, so he won that title, and then it was short. His reign at 140 was short lived for the IBF title. He actually lost his first title defense against Richardson Hitchens, but I always highlight that he fought Richardson Hitchens, who was in the mandatory position. He was not ordered to fight that mandatory. In fact, he had a voluntary defense, but he voluntarily fought his mandatory, which I thought was gangster. Obviously in hindsight, you probably wish you got that back because he lost, but it was still a gangster move. So big salute to Liam Paro. And yesterday, or this morning rather, he had his comeback fight, and I apologize. I actually forgot. I thought it was tonight. It was actually yesterday, and I wanted to talk about it in the morning show, but it was storming, so that's why we didn't do the morning show. But anyway, we could talk about it now. I actually wanted to go live for it, but I got my days mixed up, man. But anyway, he won. He beat Jonathan Navarro, and he hit him with a mean straight left hand right down the pipe. Wow! I'm talking about, man, and Navarro was so messed up. He got up from getting dropped, but then he didn't come out of his corner for the 6th round. So it went down as a 5th round stoppage. But I say all that to say that I'm happy to see our Australian brethren, our Aussie from down under, Liam Paro, man, back on the winning side. And I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I don't know if Liam Paro would be a champion again, but I definitely think he can. Because 140 is a hot division, man. And you guys think Devin Haney just left. And people are up, going and coming. I don't know how long Richardson Hitch is going to stay there, because you talk about fighting Devin Haney. That's not going to be at 140, right? So you could potentially leave and go to 147 or fight at a catch weight. So there's so much movement at 140, not to mention that Rolly Romero is first. Rolly Romero was a champion for the WBA. Then Isaac Cruz took that. Then Jose Rayo Valenzuela took that. Then Gary Hunter Russell took that. All for the WBA. That's movement within like a year or two. 4 different champions in one division. Not to mention WBC when Devin Haney vacated there. Alberto Puello was called the champion now. He defended it twice successfully, right, against Sandor Martin and Gary Hunter Russell, who's a WBA belt holder. And then the only one that's been had a constant reign is Teofimo, you know what I'm saying? So with the WBO, and then Richard Sanchez, like I said, Super Matias had that belt for the IBF. Liam Paul took that. Then Richard Sanchez took that, you know? So there's a lot of movement in the 140-pound division. So do I think Liam Paul could be champion again? Absolutely. And this is his road back to that, you know? And you never know. Liam Paul could go to 147 like Jack Catterall did. Jack Catterall's next fight, which I think is coming up this weekend or next weekend, is against Harlem Eubank, right? Hey, that's at 147. So there's a lot of movement at 140, man. So I definitely think Liam Paul can bounce back, and I'm glad to see him get that dub. My guy Irony said correct. Thank you, brother. He said, yo, I tried to press the like button, but it still says 0. They be hating. YouTube be hating on me, man. You know what I'm saying? People be hating on me, and YouTube be hating on me as well. But that's okay. Whom God bless, no man can curse. Meaning that if God is for you, nobody can be against you. So I ain't worried about it, man. YouTube can hate on me forever. We still gonna make it. You know what I'm talking about? Good Lord willing. He said Liam Paul versus George Kambosos for the Battle of Down Under. Sign me up. I hear they got beef. Yeah, that'd be a good fight as well. You know, there's a lot of fights with Liam Paul. That's why I've always said that Liam Paul and George Kambosos should fight, especially with Kambosos losing to Hitchens. Now they have something in common. They both lost to Hitchens, and you could see who's a domestic champion, right? You know what I'm saying? Who's a man in Australia for the lower weights. We know the man is really Ja Pataya. And the woman was Sky Nicholson until she lost to Tierra Brown. Big up America one time for the Americans, you know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Tierra Brown, and one time for the ladies. You know, but yeah, so yeah, I like Liam Paul versus George Kambosos, but if Kambosos is smart, he wouldn't fight Liam Paul, because Liam Paul he ain't gonna beat Liam Paul. I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man. So shout out to Liam Paul, man. He stops Jonathan Navarro in 6 rounds. So 5 rounds. He didn't get up for the 6th round. So shout out to Liam Paul for that. He said, you think, I think Subro is coming back with a vengeance. Alberto Pueblo versus Subro Matias is gonna be fire. Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight, man. I don't know who's gonna win. I'm still undecided. As we get closer to the date, I'll make my final predictions, but I'm still undecided on that, man. That's a great fight. We got Tech Dumb Dad in the building, big member in the building. Yes, sir. He said the likes aren't talking too fast. Your internet is listening too slow. Hey, talk to him. Hey, shout out to my guy Tech Dumb Dad, man. He said, shout out to the good people that make this world a better place. Amen. 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 God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. Talk to him, Armando, man. I appreciate y'all, man. But yeah, so shout out to Liam Paul, man. I'm glad to see him back at the top. I mean, going back and progressing towards the top, man. I want to see him get back to glory. You feel me? I think he could do it. Now, I want to switch gears a little bit to another former champion, this time an American former champion, Deontay Wilder. You know, Deontay Wilder had a media workout the other day. And one thing that was notable was the absence of Malik Scott. So when I saw Malik Scott wasn't there, I don't know about y'all, but I said, yes. People are worried that Malik Scott's not there, and I'm actually excited. You know, first of all, shout out to Deontay Wilder, but I think Deontay Wilder, I think he should hang it up, you know, but he's just like so many other fighters that I think should hang it up, you know, they're just fighting well beyond their prime, not even past their prime, but past the point to where I feel like they could compete at a high level and do it safely. You know, like James Toney, he was competing for too long. We saw him get beat by people he shouldn't get beat by. Manny Pacquiao, I don't think he should be coming back, but he is. But we see him get beat by like Jeff Horn and some other people. Whether it's a robbery or not, Manny Pacquiao has no business. If Manny Pacquiao's who we think he is or who he was, he ain't got no business going to the decision with some of the people he goes to the ending bell with. You know what I'm saying? So I would just like to see Manny Pacquiao, Nonino Donaire, Jose Sniper Pedraza, Roy Jones, Vladimir Klitschko, all these guys that are great, you know, when they come back and they fight a little bit too long, I don't like to see them lose to people they have no business losing to, and Deontay Wilder is one of them, you know. No disrespect to Joseph Parker or Zhang, but I don't think they have any business. They're good. I like Big Bang Zhang for sure, you know, but they don't have no business beating Deontay Wilder. And then now he's fighting a guy named Tyrell Herndon, who definitely doesn't have any business beating him, but it could happen. But anyway, you know, I always thought that Malik Scott, no disrespect to him, but I got to be honest, I don't think he was good for Deontay Wilder's career. So his absence is actually a thing to celebrate from where I'm sitting. However, I don't think it's a big deal. I just think that he wasn't there. I haven't heard anything about a rift between Deontay Wilder and Malik Scott, too much of my dismay, but I haven't heard anything bad about it. So I just think he just wasn't there. You know that he's an assistant coach or trainer for Zurdo Ramirez, and he has a fight upcoming this weekend. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. I'm speculating here. I don't know. But, you know, maybe he's just spending his time elsewhere and just spread out thin, you know, because Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is the main event. But on the undercard is Zurdo Ramirez and Junio Dortico. Zurdo Ramirez will be defending one of his belts. He'll be defending both of his belts, the WBA and the WBO. But one of them is against his mandatory, which is the WBA Union Dorticos, right? So that's actually happened in California on Saturday, and then on Friday before that is Deontay Wilder versus Tyrell Herndon. So maybe it has something to do with it. I'm not sure. But we shall see. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it's a rift between them, man. I just think people are just looking too much into it. But if there is something I haven't heard about it, and if somebody has, let me know. Let me know. He said, Malik Scott, who's that freaking guy? I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. Yeah, typo killed by Conor McGregor shot. Nah, you good. I got you. I got you, Tech. Tech said, Malik Scott?
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that? You know damn well who I am. Who the fuck is that?
Nah, he knows who Malik Scott is. He's just trolling. He's trolling. He knows who Malik Scott is. But yeah, yeah, so I don't think there's anything to worry about. And plus, I don't care who's training. If Deontay Wilder is anything close to what he's saying, he said he's close back to form. You know, he had to go see therapy. And shout out to him. Shout out to everybody that's taking care of their mental health and being proactive about it, because mental health is real. I don't want to minimize that. And so he's saying that now he's back in the proper mental space and sought out some therapy. He's good, you know, and he's gonna get back to his bronze bomber ways. Yeah, he was being sarcastic. So if that is true, then whether Malik Scott is there or not, no disrespect to Tyrell Herndon, but he's not on Deontay Wilder's level. So I don't care if it's Malik Scott training him, Tech Dumb Dad training him. I don't care if it's Patrick training him or I'm training him, you know what I'm saying? Or if it's Breland training him, he should be able to beat Tyrell Herndon. And so that's why I'm really not worried about the Malik Scott's absence or presence in this fight. You know, if you need a trainer for this guy, and like I said, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I know it sounds disrespectful, but it's just, I'm really not saying that Tyrell Herndon is bad. I'm just saying Deontay Wilder is should be that much better, you know. So I don't really care about that, you know. I don't really care about Malik Scott not being there, you know. He said mental health is as real as people make it. If you think something can affect you, well, absolutely, mental health is definitely serious. But I'm not sure if we'll see, you know, we'll see. I'm not sure if that's what is causing Deontay, is what's holding him back. You know, it could be mental. It could just be that he's done and his body's not responding. Because, you know, I tell people all the time, man, there's different types of athletes, right? It's different type of people, you know. It's not just athletic. It's not just for the confines of sports. It goes for anything, you know. Sometimes there could be something in your life that happens that could change the course or the direction of your life permanently, you know what I'm saying? And it could be a mental thing. It could be something else that triggers it, you know. It could be also too that Deontay Wilder's fighting style is predicated largely off his athleticism, just like Manny Pacquiao, you know, in addition to power as well, but is based off his athleticism, especially with him picking up the sport late. It's like with basketball, you know, it's like Russell Westbrook and Steph Curry are both guards, but you know, Steph Curry has more of a finesse game. Russell Westbrook has more of an athletic, explosive game. Same with Derrick Rose and guys like that. You know, Ray Allen has more of a finesse game. He had an explosive game back with Milwaukee and Seattle, but became more of a finesse game, a shooter game. So what I'm saying is that the finesse, the thinking part, the more cerebral part, the more fundamental part sticks with you longer. Ask Tim Duncan. You see what I'm saying? The big fundamentals. So when you are more of a finesse style, then that tends to have more longevity with it. When your game is predicated off explosiveness or agility or movement, things that could be associated with athleticism, then your career longevity is shortened, because as you get older, naturally your athleticism goes first, you know. Even if your power stays, the mechanism to deliver that power, which it comes through your athleticism, goes faster. And Deontay Wilder's game is predicated off athleticism. So it could be that too, you know, that just went fast, because they say sometimes you age overnight, you know what I'm saying? Which is what we fear for Beterbiev too. You know, Beterbiev's 40. He's a little bit older than Deontay Wilder, but not by much. And Deontay Wilder has way more fights, almost 50 fights. Beterbiev hasn't hit 30 fights yet, you know, so the ring mileage plus the age means something. So shout out to my guy D1 in the building, man. Shout out to D1. So yeah, I think he said, my guy Patrick says, if Deontay loses, that's it. Respectfully, Gregory. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I thought he should have hung it up after Joseph Parker, because like I said, some guys just have no business beating you, and that's no disrespect to Joseph Parker, but he's just not on. You gotta understand, Joseph Parker lost to Dillian White, Anthony Joshua, and got knocked out by Joe Joyce. I'm not saying that that's terrible, but Deontay Wilder, nah, you're not supposed to lose to Joseph Parker, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. So yeah, I think a shout out to we gonna definitely be live for Deontay Wilder watching versus Tyrell Herndon. I'll be rooting for Deontay Wilder, but we already know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? I agree with Patrick. This is definitively a make or break for him. And but I already told you, man, I don't want to see Deontay Wilder versus AJ. That ship has sailed, because now Deontay is at the point where, once again, no disrespect, he just not gonna beat. He's not there anymore. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. We could see that. So him losing to AJ now is like meaningless, but people are gonna act like, oh, this is them fighting in their prime and this is what would have happened 10 years ago. No, we don't know what would have happened 10 years ago because they were different fighters, especially Deontay. At least AJ losing to Daniel Dubois. I told people I had Daniel Dubois winning and we predicted that one correctly, but AJ, he's not at his peak, but he's not at a, you know, he's at a decline, but he's still serviceable, still a formidable guy. You know, it's believable that he could be a champion again. I don't think anybody would believe that Deontay Wilder could be a champion again. So I'll be rooting for him because Brahms squad is crazy. You know what I'm saying? The Bronze Bomber, but it's just, you know, it is a harsh reality, like Patrick said. Shout out to Don Dada. He said, "You new here. What's good? Hey man, appreciate you coming through, man. We love new folks around here." Shout out to Don Dada. He said, "Facts, appreciate it, bro. In my opinion, Wilder should be fighting Francis Ngannou." No, hell no. He said Deontay Wilder should be fighting Francis Ngannou.
Bullshit!
Bro, can you imagine if Deontay Wilder loses to Francis Ngannou, bro? You know what that's gonna do for you don't like boxing. You don't like boxing, irony. That's bigger. That's bigger than Deontay Wilder. That's boxer, bro. You know what they will say if an MMA fighter beats a boxer in a boxing ring? You want to see that? That's a huge possibility and it's not because, and that's my point right there. And I'm shout out to my guy Irony, that's my brother, man. But Deontay Wilder ain't got no business losing to Francis Ngannou. But right now, this iteration of Deontay Wilder could very much well lose to Francis Ngannou. And we're not going to say, oh, it's because he's older, oh, it's because he's shot, oh, it's because he's on the decline. No, we're just going to say, oh, snap, Francis Ngannou beat Wilder. Like, me and you will say that because we're boxing purists, but I'm talking about the people on the street. They just be like, oh, yeah, man, I told you, MMA guy. No matter how many times a boxer smokes an MMA guy in the boxing ring, the one time it happens, oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh, bro. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that because there's a huge possibility that Francis Ngannou could win. And we know that if it's the Bronze Bomber, he ain't got no business beating Deontay Wilder. Bro, to be real, I feel Chavez Jr. is there for a payday, but his heart and passion is not there. He can prove me wrong, but it's what I perceive from me. Yeah, man, I'm rooting for Jose Chavez Jr., man. I'm Jose for I said Jose, excuse me, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I'm rooting for him, but yeah, I don't know, man. I was watching the Face Off with him and Jake Paul, and he just doesn't look right, man. He doesn't look right, but I'm definitely rooting for him though. Shout out to JCC Jr. Yeah, I'm definitely rooting for him. But yeah, man. So yeah, I just think that Deontay Wilder, hopefully he wins, but you know he has ambitions to fight AJ still. I'm not really looking forward to it, but I'm definitely gonna watch it. We're boxing heads. Omari, what's good, Omari? Shout out to my guy Omari, Young Prince Omari, man. What's good, brethren? But yeah, so switching gears, like I said, if you want to call in the show, get your thoughts off, get your opinions off, let me know, man. Let me know. He said I lost my membership. You gotta re-up, brother. You got to re-up on the membership, brother, but it's all good, though, man. I know it's love, man. Thank you, bro, for all the times you were a membership, man. I appreciate you, bro. Man, Chavez lost to Anderson Silva. You feel me, Don Dada? Like, you know, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., first of all, he was never a great fighter in the first place. Shout out to his legendary pops, but he was never a great fighter, but he was still good, right? He was good enough to hang in there with Sergio Martinez, you know, who was a dope fighter, one of my favorite fighters. He ended up losing, but it was a close fight. He was good enough to beat Andy Lee. Andy Lee is, who's he training? Andy Lee's training Joseph Parker, right? And he's training somebody else too. Is it Hamza Shiraz? Yeah, I believe he's training Hamza Shiraz. So we gotta remember Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., he wasn't no slouch. Of course, he lost to Canelo. He wasn't a beast, but he wasn't no slouch, and he was big too. He was like, you know, he was a weight bully. Let's be honest too. But he was good enough to beat Jake Paul. I watched the little face-off thing, and Chavez just didn't. Rest in peace to Amy Winehouse, but man, they said they had to go to rehab, and I said no. That's what he looked like. I seen a little Amy Winehouse in him. He looked like he said no to that rehab because his eyes. Maybe he's just in shape, you know. I don't know, but he didn't. Yeah, I don't know, man. But the one guy was funny, man. His partner, the little chunky fella, man, he was funny as hell in that thing. I thought he carried the face off. He was funny. He said in the core, brother. Okay, Aaron, you want to pull you up? Yes, sir. He said, yeah, Shiraz, appreciate that, Patrick. Yep. He said, Freddie Roach trained Jr. too. Yep. He did. Yeah, facts. Hey, Irony, bro. Yeah, man. So if you got something you want to say to this, shout out to my guy Irony. He's calling in. I definitely have some more topics to get to. And then we gonna pull up my guy Irony and see what he has to say, man. My guy wants to say something, so let him talk. I love having callers come through and get their piece off. You know, after this, we're gonna hold tight. We're gonna transition to David Benavidez after this. But I wanna get Irony's thoughts. And please, if you have something to say, man, hit that link. We don't bite over here. I let people get their thoughts off. So please, if you have something to say, you want your voice to be heard, join the discussion. Join the discussion. It is encouraged for people to join the conversation. I want to hear from you all. You know, so let me pull up my guy, Irony, and then we're gonna transition to wait, what? We gonna transition, you feel me? My guy. Yo. Irony in the building. What's good, brethren? Talk to me. Irony, you there? 1 2 1 2. I can't hear you, Irony. Irony having technical difficulties. Oh, there you go. Loud and clear, my brother. What's good, man? Talk to me.
Sorry about that, man.
No, you're all right.
You, man.
God bless you as well, man. Thank you for calling in.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. You know, like if you got like things to talk about, like I can.
No, man. This is part of the show, man. You know, so get your thoughts off, and then we go. You know, you got your time, and then we gonna reset your time. You got your time, and just say however you feel about any of the topics we spoke on today, or anything you want to talk about, man. This is your time to call in the show. Keep the show going, man. And you can always call in throughout too, as well. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, you only could call in once. It's just you can always call in.
Absolutely,
yeah. I appreciate it, bro.
I wanted to like to ask you a little bit on what you said about Wilder shouldn't be losing to no Joe Parker. Now, I want to be clear.
Okay.
no, listen to me.
Yes, sir. I'm all ears, baby.
Let me first start off by saying that most of the Wilder criticism, in my opinion, is unfair.
I agree.
I understand that he made a million excuses after the Fury 2 fight. I mean, he didn't do himself any favors by talking about his costume, how much, all that BS.
How about his legs were tied from his costume? Who told you put it on? Fool.
Right, bro. Like make it make sense. You know, like I see the two sides, but he never worked on his skills. He took his power for granted, obviously. And he hired Malik Scott, which, I mean,
instead of
enough said, right? Enough said.
Right.
But Joe Parker, to me, don't you think that's... listen, you have a great point, brother. You have a great point when you bring up, the Wilder fight, the Zhilei Zhang fight, even though he had to get his ass up the campus twice, obviously. But
yes, sir.
He definitely won that fight. Let's be clear on that. And in hindsight, it doesn't look like great wins. Because I mean, let me put it to you this way: he beat Deontay Wilder. He did not beat the Bronze Bomber.
That's how I feel. But go ahead, though. Yeah, go ahead. You're making good points, man. I'm interested.
But at the same time, I don't think it's fair to keep bringing up, the fact that he lost to AJ, like however long ago that was. And I mean, it did happen. Yes, but I mean, to me, he's showing an example. Is he the only one? No. But he's showing an example of how you can bounce back and sort of like rejuvenate your career, right? Like,
agreed. And he has a new trainer with Andy Lee as well. Gotta show him.
Andy Lee to me is the truth, bro. That I always liked Andy Lee both as fighter and trainer. But I think it's a shame that the Dubois fight didn't happen for him because I think he deserved it. And I don't know. I mean, I don't see any shame in losing to this Joe Parker personally. Do you? Or I mean, you're not as high on him. I understand.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. My bad. Do you want me to respond or?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So no, it's not the. See, what you said it encapsulates my whole opinion earlier. It's not necessarily that it's a shame to lose to Joseph Parker. It's just that I acknowledge that Joseph Parker didn't fight the same Deontay Wilder that fought Tyson Fury the first time, or Dominique Brazil, or Arthur Spilska, or Bermane Stiverne, or whoever else you want to name along Deontay Wilder's illustrious career. I don't think that was the same. Like you said, it wasn't the Bronze Bomber. So no, Joseph Parker's a good fighter, and he beat Zhilei Zhang. But even that Zhang, to me, a lot of people thought that Zhang won. It was a majority decision. He got dropped twice. I give him all the credit for that. That was a good fight. But some people thought it was questionable. and then Joseph Parker when he fought Bacoli was on 2 days notice. Those are what I question with Joseph Parker. But as far as him being a bad fighter, no,
Yeah.
I think I agree with that. I think Joseph Parker does deserve the Daniel Dubois fight, but I'm not too upset because I do believe Dubois was sick, and if people don't believe that, that's cool. We understand, but I just don't think that Joseph Parker deserves a Dubois fight more than Dubois deserves the Usyk rematch for undisputed. So I definitely, I'm not saying that Joseph Parker is not good or anything like that, and Deontay Wilder should be ashamed for losing to him. But I'm just saying the Deontay Wilder that lost to him wasn't the same Deontay Wilder. That's what I'm saying.
That's without a doubt. That's without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I forgot what I was gonna say just now. I was gonna end it with something. You were saying that. What was the last thing you said? Because I think it was related to that. What was the last thing you said?
About Deontay Wilder or?
Oh yeah. Now, no. I want to about you said about the Zhang fight. Honestly, bro, like I don't think it was controversial. I mean, he did get dropped twice, but he won every round of that fight, bro. Like,
no,
I
I disagree with that.
Yeah, I'll watch it again.
Yeah,
I'll watch it again.
I don't have my score on me right now, but I remember I had it. You know me, so I thought it could have went either way. If I'm not mistaken, I think I scored it for Zhang, by 1 point because he got dropped twice. But I thought that Parker, now the second half of the fight, I thought Parker won like 4. Like I want to say like he won the last 5 rounds or something straight for sure because he started boxing circles around him. But I didn't think he won every round. Besides the ones he got dropped out. I want to say I had him winning more rounds, but because of the 2 knockdowns, I had Zhang winning by like 1 point or 2 points. I can't remember exactly how I scored it. I would have to go find it. But yeah, no, I definitely didn't have him like slaughtering or like winning every round convincingly. I thought it could have went either way, but I wasn't mad at Joseph Parker winning because, like I said, I had numerically speaking, I had Joseph Parker winning more rounds, from a quantitative standpoint. But for the qualitative standpoint, with him dropping him twice, I thought it was debatable. But yeah. But yes, sir, man. I appreciate you calling in, though, Irony, man. I'm gonna go ahead and
hopefully we'll talk a lot more.
Absolutely.
Afterwards,
yes, sir, man. Thank you again, bro. Always a pleasure.
Sure.
Yes, sir, man. Shout out to my guy Irony, bro. That's my guy right there, man. So Irony disagrees with me, man. He said there's no shame in losing to Joseph Parker. I want to be clear. I'm not saying there's a shame in losing to Joseph Parker, and I also not saying that Joseph Parker couldn't beat Deontay Wilder. Maybe he could have beat Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if Deontay Wilder would have fought Joseph Parker before he fought Tyson Fury, that might have derailed the whole thing because maybe Joseph Parker would have beat him. I don't think so, but that's a possibility, right? So I'm not saying that Joseph Parker's a slouch, but what I am saying is that Deontay Wilder was not the same Deontay Wilder that Joseph Parker fought. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of who wins that fight, I'm saying that Deontay Wilder clearly wasn't the same Deontay Wilder. That's all I'm saying. But that was a great call by my brother Irony. Shout out to my guy Big Dog Willie dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. Yes, sir. Shout out to my guy, Big Dog Willie in the building, man. Big member in the building. Shout out to my brother Oster in the building. Big member in the building. Shout out to Big Dog Willie, another member in the building. Big Dog Willie says Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank. Hold on, let me pull out my GTD chain because he about to troll. Let me pull out my GTD chains. Hey, I need to see nothing but GTD chains in the chat if you got them. Where the members at? He said Jake Paul versus Tank. He meant to say Gervonta Tank Davis versus Jake Paul. November 22nd, Las Vegas MGM. Pacquiao versus Tank Spring 2026. Logan Paul versus Tank Winter 2026. Danny DeVito versus Tank Spring 2027. Pure facts. Pure facts? I say pure BS. He said pure facts. Shout out to my guy, man. He said pure facts is just crazy. That's crazy. Shout out to my guy Big Dog Willie, always coming through with the troll. I appreciate you, brother. Shout out to my guy, man. That's my guy Big Dog Willie right there, man. Hey, Gervonta go whoop all of them. You know what I'm talking about? Jake Paul, Tank, all. I mean, he is Tank. Danny DeVito, Logan Paul. Gosh, he said Jake Paul versus Tank, Logan Paul versus Tank, Danny DeVito versus Tank, Pacquiao versus Tank, and he gonna be, gosh dang, 1, 2, 3, 4. He gonna be 4-0, baby, 4-0. You feel me? Let me catch up to some of these messages, man. Doc can't handle that topic with me. Oh my goodness, Aaron, that's crazy. He said, Let's see. I think there was another message I want to speak on. I lost it though. Wilder needs Eddie Reynoso. Oh Lord, he might. But yeah, man, shout out to my guy Irony though for calling in, man. That was a great call, man. Appreciate the perspective on that as well. Hey, shout out to my guy Oscar, man. That's mi hermano right here. My brother Oscar, man. Always showing me love and always coming through. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my guy Oscar Perez. Hitting the Cash App with the $10, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. My guy Oscar says Shiraz is whack. He said Shiraz is whack, chat. I agree. Shiraz is definitely whack.
Yeah.
He said Joseph Parker Mickey. I agree.
Yeah.
He said Wilder is done for. I agree.
Yeah.
So let me say that again. My guy Oscar hit me with the $10 and said Shiraz is whack.
Yeah.
Joseph Parker Mickey.
Yeah.
And Wilder is done for.
Yeah.
I agree on all counts, Oscar. I'm not mad at you, bro. I agree on all counts, my brother. I agree on all counts. Shout out to my guy for hitting me in the Cash App, man, with the $10. Appreciate that, Oscar, my brother. Mi hermano Carnal. Oscar in the building, man. He said, I want to move on, man. I want to show y'all this before I get to the Benavidez stuff, right? Before I get to some of the Mickey stuff, I want to get to the real Mickey stuff. You know, the little freaky deaky stuff. I don't know if y'all saw this, but boy, if y'all didn't see it, I need you to strap in right now. Make sure you're everything tied. Your gosh dang, your belt buckle tied, your shoestrings tied, you're strapped in. I need everything because y'all gonna need it for this one. Check this out, chat. This is Oscar De La Hoya acting a gosh dang fool. Oh my goodness. And peep how he spelled predictions. Emphasis on the dick. Not predictions, like how it's really spelled. PREDICTIONS. Predict. Emphasis on the ick. There you go. Hey man, hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Oscar be capping a lot, man, but Oscar De La Panty, Oscar De La Fishnets, and Golden Shower Promotions, man, they always give me a good laugh. So let's check it out, man. This is him and his predictions.
It is fight week. Jake Paul versus guys. It is fight week. Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And I'm gonna give you my picks, Golden Boy style, baby. All right, guys. Raul Curiel, Victor Rodriguez. Both guys are undefeated, fighting for a world title eliminator. Who do I got? Raul Curiel, late stoppage, great fight. Floyd Schofield, Tevin Farmer,
Bro.
youth versus experience. I've got Floyd by late stoppage, and a new star is born. Zurdo Ramirez, unified
Bro.
world champion, taking on Torticos, the #1 contender.
I ain't gonna lie, this is gonna be a good fight, chat. The Cuban contender Junior Dorticos versus Mexican Zurdo Ramirez. That might be fighting of the night, man. I like this fight. And so was the American contender versus Tevin Farmer versus American champion. I mean contender, both contenders. Prospect contender Floyd Schofield. That's gonna be a good fight too. So this is a pretty good card outside of the main event being Chavez and Jake Paul. But anyway, let's keep it going, bro. The meat is crazy, bro. Why he got his meat in there like that, bro?
Who will win? In an all-out war,
Bro.
Ramirez will end it with a 4th-round knockout.
Bro,
All right,
why does
Jake
that got his
Paul,
meat in the
Chavez
come on,
Jr.,
man?
Experience or ambition? After a back-and-forth battle, Jake Paul
Bro, why he put his meat on Chavez Jr.'s head, bro? That's disrespectful to the Mexican legend, bro. Come on, bro. That's his son, bro. I ain't gonna lie. If I was Chavez, I'm not talking about Junior. I'm talking about Senior. Chavez Senior need to run down on Oscar, bro. You don't put your meat on your on his son's head, bro. I don't even care if it's just a figure or just a face. I don't care what it. Don't do that, bro. That's disrespectful, bro.
After a back-and-forth battle, Jake Paul edges it with a split decision in the 12th, June 28th from the Honda Center, live on the Zone pay-per-view.
Live only on.
Oh man, nah, but that's not right, bro. That's a flagrant foul on the play, man. A technical foul, flagrant, ejected immediately. Come on, bro. That's wrong, bro. You can't be doing that, bro. You can't put your meat on the man's head, bro. That's disrespectful, dog. Oscar been hitting too much of that snow. I'm so glad you said that, Patrick. I'm so glad you brought up the snow, the booger sugar, the white girl, that cocaina, and every other word that is synonymous with cocaine. I'm so glad you brought that up. Because speaking of cocaine, you see what this is, right? On the main topic, man. Karma comes at you fast. Ain't that right, Benavidez? Karma comes real fast. You got to watch your mouth. Because the other day, like 3 days ago to be exact, maybe, I dropped a video. It was a short, right? Short little clip. And I mentioned it on the live show. David Benavidez was extremely critical of Canelo. And I'm not defending Canelo. You know, Cinnamon is one of my favorite fighters. Shout out to my boy Cinnamon. I'm not defending him. I like David Benavidez too. I like them both. But he said that he thinks that Canelo's been cheating for a long time. For a strong time. He's always been cheating. His cheating never ceased. He just got good at evading the detection processes and procedures, right? And he said, hey man, you know, and he's saying this in light of Jaime Munguia popping dirty, being affiliated with Reynoso's camp. You know, Jaime Munguia was affiliated with Reynoso's camp. Obviously Canelo had this clenbuterol issue that he had his sentence shortened, his suspension shortened from 18 months to 6 months because he proved in court that it was unintentional congestion of it, right? It was contamination for the blamed it on the vacas, the cows, right? So he blamed it on the beef, but Julio Cesar Martinez, who also popped dirty and works with affiliated with Reynoso's camp, he didn't pass it, right? He didn't get an excuse, right? He was found guilty. Luis Nery was affiliated with Reynoso's camp in the past. He popped dirty. Oscar Valdez, he popped dirty. You see what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia, he wasn't trained by Eddie Reynoso at the time, but he was affiliated with Eddie Reynoso's camp. He popped dirty. And then we have Jaime Munguia. So David Benavidez or anybody that is looking at Eddie Reynoso's camp and his fighters with a side eye, they are perfectly in bounds to do so. We should all be wary of all fighters, not just Reynoso camp fighters, every fighter, because I think the sport integrity and the sanctity and the purity of the sport needs to be upheld, right? Especially by the champions. But especially if you're coming from Reynoso's camp right now, I think that everybody should dot their I's and cross their T's because it's looking very suspicious. These are a lot of fighters in a short span of time coming from the same camp that have been testing positive, right? But once David Benavidez pointed that out and kind of insinuating that Canelo is cheating because his peers and his camp and his stablemates have been testing dirty, guess what just happened with Jose Benavidez Jr.? Yeah, Jose Benavidez Jr., that would be the older brother of David Benavidez. Well, Jose Benavidez Jr. just popped dirty for none other than cocaine.
We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all.
So he popped dirty for cocaine. And I know cocaine's not like a, you know what I'm saying? It's just something that's a banned substance. It's not really like a steroid or PD, but it can be used for those kind of purposes. But I don't think so. I just think, you know, and it's just a recreational drug that they're abusing. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, some of the contents in cocaine is it comes up on the banned substance use. So I don't think he was using it to get an unfair advantage, but I do think he was using it to get high. That's just me speculating. Maybe he was trying to use it as a masking agent for something else. I don't know. I don't care. But the fact he popped dirty you know, it's just funny because David Benavidez, if you remember, David Benavidez popped dirty for cocaine, that same booger sugar, that white girl, that cocaina. He popped dirty in 2018 for the same cocaine. What's up with y'all, bro? What are y'all, cocaine cowboys? What y'all got going on in the Benavidez camp, man? Y'all can't stay off that booger sugar, bro? Leave it alone, bro. It's out there raining. Or should I say snowing? If it ain't snowing, they ain't going. You know what I'm saying? Team Benavidez said if it ain't snowing, I ain't going. And they ain't talking about white girls. They talk about that white girl. You know, I'm talking about that cocaine. That's crazy, bro. But Jose Benavidez, he just had a stoppage win over Danny Rosenberg not too long ago, right? It was on the undercard of David Benavidez versus David Morrell. Jose Benavidez Jr. had a nice little comeback victory and stoppage against Rosenberg. But now it was changed to a no contest because the man can't stop sniffing the coke. You know what I'm saying? He chopping up the coke. You know what I'm talking about? Dicing it up, chopping it up, you know, sniffing them lines. You can't be doing that, bro. Not while you're fighting. So it's just funny that how fast karma hits, bro. That's why you got to watch your mouth sometimes, because I'm not saying that he was wrong or out of bounds. In fact, I'm saying he's right to point the fingers at the Reynoso camp, because we should all be clamoring and be adamant about keeping the sport clean. You know what I'm saying? Not just for the safety of the fighters, but also in addition to that, most importantly, the safety of the fighters, but also the purity of the sport, man. It's a gentleman's sport. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to cheat each other, you know, and stuff like that. So we want to look at these warriors as warriors because of what they're doing, and they're training hard, they're dedicated, they're motivated, their ambition and stuff like that, especially when their ambition comes into fruition and they actually become a champion. We don't want them to have any type of external factors that are causing them, giving them a boost in their competition level. That's whack, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know what's going on with the Benavidez camp, but now both brothers have got popped for cocaine, and now Jose Benavidez' victory over Rosenberg has been changed to a no contest, man. A couple days after he was just talking trash about Canelo, and karma hit fast. Hey, they must have been sitting on that info to drop at the perfect time. I'm telling you, B-Dog, they had to, because that's crazy, bro. It just dropped right now. That is wild, man. That is wild, man. Brothers like to get, hey, they like to get high. Also, I said, I was high. It's because I was high. Because I was high. Head ass. Shout out to my guy Oster dropping the graffiti on the chat walls with that bread, that cheese, that butter. Drop the big biscuits in the chat, man. Big biscuits in the chat. Shout out to my guy Oster, man. He said if Brian Norman Jr. fight Dev and Dev win, does chat think he will have to fight Ryan? Or could he just say forget it and leave? Ryan, because Brian Norman Jr. come with belts. That's a good question. I don't think anything's dependent on Ryan. I think Ryan, if you want to fight Ryan, you fight Ryan, but Ryan's never been a champion. So for me, I would have to say that I want Devin Haney to get it back just cause. But as far as, is it obligatory for him to get it back? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think it's obligatory, but I think he should want to get it back. But if he doesn't want to, I'm cool with that as well, because Ryan hasn't really accomplished anything in the sport besides be a pompous, racist piece of shit that people gravitate to. That should let you know about the climate of the world we live in. People gravitating to a racist, cheating piece of shit. A racist, cheating, unintelligent piece of shit. So that's what people gravitate towards. Boy, we in trouble, man. The people that we cohabitate this earth with is crazy. He said, where do you think all those combos coming from? These motherfuckers behind. Hey, he be in there. Yeah. Hey, David Benavidez be hitting the heck out that bag, boy. And he be hitting the heck out that line, too. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't lying. Hey, Oster, you not lying. Hold on, bro. I want to show y'all. This is what Oster's talking about. I hope he ain't hitting. I hope he ain't hitting the cocaine mound like he hitting the heavy bag. Oh my goodness, bro. This is what he talking about right here, chat. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find it, chat. Hold on, give me a second. Because he be hitting the heck out of that bag, boy. That is. Hey, there it is. I just got it, chat. This is him on the coke lines.
Let's go.
Hey, he be hitting the lines just like that, bro. Hey, he be hitting the lines just like that, bro. Y'all gotta chill on my boy. Hey, chill on my boy David Benavidez, man. He just had bad timing, man. You know, hey, man, people mess up, man. Players mess up, man. They young. They got money, you know what I'm saying? They experimenting a little bit, man. But you can't be experimenting during the fights, man. You got to chill out, man. So hopefully Jose Benavidez can bounce back, you know. And hopefully it's not an addiction. Hopefully it was just him just having fun one time or two times or three times. You know what I'm talking about? Since 2018, it's a whole lot of fun. You feel me? But I still rock with David Benavidez. I said Ryan will always be on Dev's mind until he fight him. Yep. You know how Boxer's ego is. Yep. I agree. Benavidez can't masking all the. Hey, Oscar. Hey, shout out to Oscar. I mean, that's a good point. Maybe they're masking all the PEDs. You never know, bro. You never know. You know, I don't want to say fake news right now. I'm gonna say that's fake news.
If you out here getting fake vagina over your fake jury, reality is reality.
Right now, I'm gonna say that's fake news, Oscar. But I'm not mad at anybody who thinks that they're doing so, because I mean, you just said the same thing about Canelo a couple days ago. You just said, now let's be fair and remain objective, right? There's a lot more reason to be suspicious of Reynoso fighters and Canelo than there is David Benavidez. But the fact still remains, if you're going to say something like that, then I think it would behoove you and your credibility if you were actually clean and the people around you were also clean, especially your brother. Because now y'all don't only share a camp, y'all also share the same household and daddy. You know what I'm talking about? So I just think, yeah, it's just bad timing, like B-Dog said. But, you know, I agree. If anybody feels that way, I'm not mad at anybody feeling that way. I just don't feel that way. I don't share that same sentiment. But you know, it is what it is. You just got to tighten up. But now, speaking on the super chat, man, we're gonna transition to the final topic of the day, man, before we open up the channel to let people call in at will. If you want to call in, you have something to say, call in, man. Hit the lines, man, on the Discord. But don't forget to smack that like button as well, man. Consider becoming a member, you know what I'm saying, for only $3 a month, man. Y'all big ballers, y'all got it. You know what I'm saying? Consider becoming a member. Yeah, feel me, helps the channel keep going and growing. But if you can't do that, I appreciate it. It's all good. It's understandable. But at least hit that like button for your boy, man. Keep us going and growing in the algorithm, man. Oscar said he's calling in 5. I bet. But yeah, man, so I want to make that transition to Devin Haney and Norman, man. Shout out to Brian Norman Jr. I just dropped a video on it, and shout out to Devin Haney, man. A hot topic lately, as of late, you know, today, yesterday, a couple days ago, Bill Haney has been, you know what I'm saying, Trio Bill has been coming out claiming that he has a hit list, you know, and making house calls and pulling up in people's hoods and all that good stuff in bonbons, right? And say what you want, whether you like Devin Haney or not, or you like Bill Haney or not. Bill Haney is a very good promoter, you know what I'm saying? His son is independent. They're independent. Devin Haney promotion. So they do have to go a little bit further, do a little extra, be a little proactive when it comes to promoting themselves and getting their names out there. So a lot of times people look at it as clout chasing. I'm one of those guys. I look at it as clout chasing sometimes just because I don't believe in the seriousness of them all the time when they call people out. However, I recognize it's part of the boxing game. You know, Eddie Hearn does it as well. You know, as a promoter, he just does it for Matchroom. Bob Arum does it as well. He does it on behalf of Top Rank. Oscar De La Hoya does it as well. Does it on behalf of Golden Boy Promotions. If you think I'm lying, I can give you examples of everybody that I just named calling out people that they have no intentions of fighting. Like William Zepeda with Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy. He been calling out Shakur since he beat Maxie Hughes. Then he fought Giovanni Cabrera. Then he fought Tevin Farmer. Then he fought Tevin Farmer again. And now he's finally fighting Shakur. That fight should happen a long time ago if they weren't just clout chasing at the time, right? You know what I'm saying? Look at Floyd Kid Austin Schofield with Golden Boy. He called out Shakur as well, and he pulled sick. Come on, man. That's clout chasing. You see what I'm saying? Let's go with Matchroom and Conor Benn. Conor Benn been calling out Gervonta Tank Davis, been calling out Manny Pacquiao, been calling out Jerron Boots Ennis. I know they're stablemates now, but you know what I'm saying? Calling all these people, he had no intention of fighting them. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden he wants to go back to 147 and fight Mario Barrios, but he wasn't hollering about 147 until Jerron Boots Ennis left. So that's a Matchroom clout chase. You see what I'm saying? So all these promoters, they do that, you know, to keep their name relevant, but it looks a little crazier. I would say Bill Haney's a little easier of a target because he's independent and people are less understanding because they don't see him as a big brand, but that's what he is, you know? And I tell people all the time, it's like, yeah, you want Devin Haney, you don't want Bill Haney to talk. You don't want Brian Norman Sr. to talk because that's why you don't like their sons. But you got to realize if they didn't talk on behalf of their sons, because their sons are kind of reserved, right? Let's be honest. Tell me if I'm wrong. Brian Norman Jr., his personality is more of a reserved personality. Same with Devin Haney, he's more of a reserved personality. The polarization comes from their fathers. You see what I'm saying? Whether you like them or not. So if they were more reserved, then who would they be? They would be like Terrence Bud Crawford. And people say, oh, we don't like Terrence Bud Crawford because he's not relatable. He's not outgoing. He doesn't really talk. He's not polarized. He's not captivating. He's not expressive enough. Well, that's what Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr. would be if you remove Brian Norman Sr. and Bill Haney from the picture. So it's like you damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you don't talk or have somebody talking on your behalf, people are going to overlook you because they don't gravitate towards your personality. But then if you do have an outgoing personality or someone promoting for you, then they're going to say, oh, well, I don't like him because his father talks too much. It's like, bro, you can't have it on both. You can't have it both ways. You see what I'm saying? Or I guess the fighters can't. But am I saying that the criticism is not well deserved? No, I'm not saying that either. I'm not defending them. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. That's the path you chose. So if you want to be independent, that comes with it. So people are also going to dislike you. But I just say as a boxing fan, I think we need to exercise a little bit of patience and understanding when it comes to how they're approaching getting their name out there and staying relevant. That's all I see it is. I see it as not so much clout chasing, but I mean clout chasing, yes, but also as a strategy to try to keep their name in the forefront of boxing, especially when they don't have a fight coming up. So shout out to Brian Norman and shout out to Devin Haney. Now, as far as them fighting each other, there's been a lot of talk about them fighting now. And I just think that, you know, shout out to the Boxing Voice. That's where I was watching the interaction between Bill Haney and Brian Norman Sr. Specifically. And then they were just going back and forth, insinuating that the fight was signed or this term was agreed to. Bill Haney said that Devin Haney signed. Brian Norman alluded that they signed, but he couldn't really disclose the information because he didn't want to jeopardize the deal and all this other stuff. But basically, you see them going back and forth in real time. That's all that was. That was like passive aggressive negotiating. they're not in the same place. They're on the phone. They're just doing it in real time to try to make it seem like, okay, bet I want the fight. This person doesn't want the fight. They want the fight, or they don't want the fight. We want the fight type stuff. And you know, Bill Haney's a good talker, but there's no telling what Bill Haney signed to. Maybe he signed the paper. Maybe he did sign the document. I'm not saying he's lying, but maybe the documentation that he signed wasn't realistic for Brian Norman to comply to. And maybe the Brian Norman stuff that he has, that he received, that he was ready to sign or signed, that's not something that's something that he knows that Bill Haney and them won't go for. You see what I'm saying? So they both play a little game. Like I say, man, everybody has negotiations, especially like if you're in a specialized field. It doesn't even have to be boxing, right? It could be you going for a new position or a new promotion. You engage in salary negotiations. Like I said, bro, I have my PhD in engineering, so I know everybody doesn't work in a specialized field, but I just got out of salary negotiations. I have some salary negotiations ongoing right now about a position that I've been reached out to. So it'll be almost foolish to just take what people give you. You got to negotiate a bit, you know, and I'm not saying that to make an excuse for anybody, but I'm saying that these are preliminary discussions that they just had in front of our face on the Boxing Voice. Eddie Hearn and Matchroom engages in these type of talks with Al Heyman and PBC all the time, with Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy all the time, Frank Warren and Queensberry all the time, Boxer and Ben Shalom all the time. This is what happens, man. So when you see it and you're like, oh, quick to judge, oh, it doesn't happen, so one of them is absolutely ducking. No, that doesn't mean that if the fight doesn't come into fruition immediately, that somebody's necessarily ducking. But it does mean that if it doesn't come into fruition, that the terms weren't agreed to. You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. We got my boy WJ McCullough in the building. Big member in the building. We got Kendrick in the building. Big member in the building. He said, cocaine, yeah, cocaine cowboys. I'm telling you, they cocaine bros. You know what I'm saying? You heard about the Mario bros, they the cocaine bros. Greatest ever says, who cares what Benavidez says? I mean, I like Benavidez, so I mean, even if I didn't like him, I'm gonna care what he says because it's boxing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think anybody should not care, especially when you talk about cheating. I think that more fighters, like whether you like Canelo or not, like I said, Canelo's one of my favorite fighters, but I don't feel the need to pick the side because I like them as boxers. I don't like them as paramours or boyfriends or girlfriends or love interests. You know, I just like the sport, and it will benefit the sport if more clean fighters, more fighters in general, and promoters and managers and referees and everybody affiliated with sport, content creators, fans. We should be more out front and outgoing and outspoken about making the sport clean. I don't see the problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that you should make false allegations, but if somebody looks a little shaky, then I think we should call out the suspicion. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, in my personal opinion, you know, but it is what it is. Shout out to my guy, Oscar, man, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. Shout out to my guy Oscar, man. Appreciate you dropping the graffiti on the chat walls, turning us up, man. He said someone has been in the waiting room for a minute. he said someone's been in the waiting room for a call for a little over a minute. I got you, bro. We got my boy Tay in the building. What's good? Yes, sir. We about to pull up my guy Oscar for his call, man. You know my guy Oscar. He gonna have it. He gonna speak on his mind. This is why I like. See, I like this format better because I know we haven't been doing it for too long. We've been doing it for a couple weeks. I love this. I think this is a permanent format because I love hearing the angry fan. It gets my juices flowing. It gets my blood boiling. It gets me going. My gears grinding. You know what I'm saying? I love to hear people's opinion. I don't want to agree all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I do like to agree though. You know what I'm saying? Speaking common sense. But at the same time, I want to hear what people got to say, man. And this is a perfect way to do it, man. You're gonna have my brother, mi hermano Carnal, my partner, my pal, Oscar Perez in the building. What's good, brethren?
Well, I was talking about me. I think there's someone actually in the waiting room. He was here before me. I don't know if you want to pull him up. And then pull me
I'll pull him up after. No, you good, man. Members get priority, man.
No, I told you, he's been here for a little bit. Like I said.
Okay, shout out to Oscar. Then I'm gonna pull you out, and I'm gonna get you back after. Shout out to you. Thank you, bro. I thought you were talking about yourself. That's Patrick. He is a member anyway. Shout out to Patrick. Shout out to my guy Oscar for being so kind and courteous. This is my guy Patrick in the building.
Hey, members get priority.
Yo, you hear me?
Yes, sir, man. What's good, brethren?
Hey, salute to you, Doc.
Man,
how you doing,
my brother? Man, I'm doing good, man. How about yourself? Appreciate you calling in.
Good, man. Amen. Salute to the chat.
Amen.
Hey, man. Hey, I watched also that conversation between Haney and Norman.
Okay, on the boxing.
Yeah, I liked it, but at the same time, didn't like it, like you said, because you could tell. You see, Bill Haney is a he's been promoting for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
And, you can tell Norman he wants that fight. They both want the fight, really.
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell Norman is like, man, I cannot talk. He didn't want to talk because he didn't, as you say, he didn't want to like jeopardize the fight. And, and you could tell. I think that was his manager.
Yep, Adrian Clark, probably Adrian Clark.
Yeah, Adrian Clark probably texting as in Ness from the Boxing Voice.
Yep.
And at the same time, it's telling Norman just don't say nothing.
I agree.
but what's his name? Bill Haney was like, you know, it was pushing him, so that was difficult for Norman. But because we know Norman Senior can talk.
Yep.
He can talk, bro. He's the one talking.
Facts.
So, but I'm looking forward to that fight, bro. That's like that matchup is really, really good.
Yes.
And when you think about it, you have like two guys that's still young.
Yep.
Different style. And for me, I still feel like we haven't seen the best of Haney yet. Like I still feel like there's some tools that he has that we haven't seen. So I still don't know how Haney's gonna fight. I have an idea, but I still don't know, but I have an idea.
Right.
And Norman Jr., we know he's still got a lot to do. Like we still haven't seen the best of him. He's not in his prime at all yet. So,
Agreed.
That's
Youngest
what-
champion,
that's what
right?
that
Youngest
fight-
champion at 24 years old. He's the youngest world champion right now.
Is he?
Yep. The
Yeah,
youngest.
24. Yeah, you're right.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that matchup is really good, and you have like a power puncher, like because I think Devin Haney hasn't fought like a puncher like Norman. He
I
fought
agree.
punches, but not like a big like a one knockout puncher.
I agree.
I don't see who it was because he fought like Ramirez. Yeah, he can. You know, he's more like a let's say like accumulation, like more like it's not the same type of punches like
Not a
Norman
one-shot
Jr. threw a
destructive
bomb.
pressure. I agree. Yep.
Yeah.
agree.
So, he fought Devin Haney, but we cannot count that.
Yeah, Ryan Garcia. man.
He fought like Ryan Garcia, I mean,
Right.
but we cannot count.
Right. And let's
So,
be fair too. I
and-
mean, even it's one thing to have power, but it's another thing to have power and be skilled. So I would say that Brian Norman is even more of a threat and is more of a dynamic. The dynamic of his threat is even amplified because he's a champion. Let's call it what it is. Ryan Garcia has never been a champion, so it's one thing to have power, which Ryan Garcia has, but Brian Norman has power and skill, even being young. And still having a lot progressions left in his future. So I agree with you.
100%, and he's got a good IQ. Like I think his IQ is underrated because the way he set up that shot for
Jin
Sasaki,
Sasaki,
that was
I agree.
that was properly calculated, that one.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Norman Senior, I think I like to hear his when he talk about like his analysis about the fight, about the way he was analyzing a little bit Devin Haney. I was like that. I was like that's good, but at the same time, I was like, this man better not talk too much because he might because he talks so much, you feel like he can like give the game plan, and you don't want to do that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I thought he was giving up a little bit too much as well. I'm with you on that.
I was like, yeah, Norman, just shut up. Like, I think Bill Haney's setting you up. Because you see, like, Bill Haney told him at the end, you're okay with Devin to fight the way he wants to fight. Do you remember when he said that?
I remember he said, he said, you sure about it? He has no problems. You can deal with it.
Yeah.
So
like, the dude is setting you up. Just shut up, Norman.
Right.
But yeah, man, like, I'm looking forward to that fight. And the last thing I want to say is, what do I want to say again? Yeah, that fight I love it as well because what you think about it is both dads, like you can see they might do the headline of that fight.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. The press conference is gonna be all about Norman Senior and Bill Haney's interactions.
I feel like the face-off should be between those dads.
Facts. I agree,
You know what I'm saying?
1,000%.
That's exciting, bro. I'm really
Absolutely.
looking forward to that
Absolutely.
matchup. But yeah, but that's my call, man. I'm gonna let
Man,
other
I
people
appreciate
talk,
you calling.
talk,
I appreciate you, bro. Always dropping some good gems, man. Shout out to my guy Patrick in the building, man. Appreciate you, brother.
I got you.
Yes,
Shout out to the
man.
chat.
Yes, sir. God bless, man. My guy right there.
God bless.
That's my guy right there, Patrick, man. Hey, I want to salute Patrick as well, man. Patrick Bamundele. That's my guy, man. Patrick also, I want to say this as well. I want to commend him, man, because Patrick not only was like he said he was in the boxing voice. I actually see, bro. I be around, chat. I'll be everywhere, but I be around a little bit. And I saw him in the chat. He was in there, being what I call a responsible boxing fan, man. I don't remember what he was saying, but people were in there going crazy, and Patrick was just like, bro, you got to look at it from this perspective and this perspective. He wasn't aggressive or nothing like that, but he was just like letting you know, like, bro, you know, I know that we're fans of certain fighters, that's cool, but there should be a respect level to, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, I love the ridiculousness too, because I like to laugh, but I just want to salute Patrick for that. I can't remember exactly what he said, but somebody was going crazy to say something, and he was just like, man, no, you got to look at it from this perspective as well, and this perspective and whatever. So shout out to Patrick for that, man. You know, I love talking with people that have gosh dang common sense, you feel me? Not too many. And we about to bring up my guy Oscar real quick and have him talking. I'm gonna open up the channel, man. We can all just chop it up. Shout out to my guy Dub. Oh, shout out to 2-4 in the building. Don't forget to smack that like button if you haven't done so already. Big member in the building, 2-4. Gaza says if they don't put some gas on Haney, name from now will fight in dangerous fights. I'm not sure what you're trying to say, Gaza. He said they don't put some gas on Haney name from now will nigga fight in dangerous fights. He'll never fight dangerous fights, is what you probably try to say. I'm not sure, but yeah, shout out to Haney though. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Haney. I do want to say this as well. You know. Like I said, I don't think that fight's happening next, and I'll tell you why, because it just doesn't make sense. Necessarily make sense. You feel me? I would say this. Brian Norman has expressed the desire to be the dominant man in his division. So why would you take a fight against a non-champion? I don't care who he is. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's Devin Haney. And you have a fight between Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios going on right now. And then for the IBF, that's a vacant title. And that's probably going to be against the number 1 ranked guy, Lewis Crocker, versus number 3 ranked guy, Patty Donovan, because the IBF number 2 is vacant. So they might fight for the belt that Bush is vacated. You feel me? So why wouldn't you wait to see how things fall into place before you commit to fighting a guy who's a non-title holder? You see what I'm saying? And let's say Manny Pacquiao beats Barrios. Now you're getting legacy. You're getting legacy in 2 ways. You're getting legacy because you're fighting for unification with the WBO and WBC, but then you also get to fight a legend in Manny Pacquiao. And let's say Mario Barrios wins, right? Well, Mario Barrios, that means that he beat a legend in Pacquiao, and he beat a guy that beat the legendary Pacquiao in Yordenis Ugas, and he's been in there with a great like Gervonta Tate Davis, and he's been there with a great like Keith Thurman, whether you won or lost. I mean, I know he lost those 2 fights, but still. And he's the longest reigning welterweight champion, and it's for a unification with WBC and WBO. Now, I'm not saying that he'll necessarily get that unification next, but why not wait before committing to another fight to see if the chips may fall in your favor? That's what I'm saying. So to say that they're going to commit to a fight right now, it just doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? From a management standpoint. But other than that, I would love to see Haney and Norman fight. You see what I'm saying? I'm not against the fight at all. I'm just saying I don't think that it will happen next. I think it's just I think it's a fight that can happen in the future, assuming that Brian Norman wins. But you know, Devin Haney can entertain Richardson Hitchens. You know, they've been talking like that. You know, back and forth as well. They could still entertain the Ryan Garcia fight. You know, that's still always an option. You still entertain. You could even entertain the Rolly Romero fight, because Rolly is the interim WBA belt holder, right? Or regular, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Whatever belt they made up that was intended for Ryan Garcia, that Rolly spoiled the party, right? He will be elevated because of Jerron Boots in his departure as well. So you could even fight, so Devin Haney could even fight Rolly for a belt, and let's say he beats Rolly, then he could revisit Brian Norman, and now it's not only a good fight that they already had built some momentum for, now it's a unification between WBA and the WBO champion. So I just think it's appropriate for them to just be patient a little bit. He said, I think they will make Rolly fight Pac or Barrios, and that's a good point too, Gaza, because why? Because Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios is affiliated with PBC for the WBC belt that they're fighting for, and then Rolly is a PBC fighter as well. So you could also look at that as well. I've said that before as well, because that could be a unification fight. And then the winner of that could potentially get Brian Norman or whoever. You see what I'm saying? Or even Devin Haney or whatever. And maybe Brian Norman could fight Devin Haney now, and then if he beats him, gets that winner or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of possibilities. I just don't see Norman and Haney happening right now. But let me pull up my brother Oscar, man. Let him chime in real quick. Let's see what we talking about, man. See what we talk about, my brother Oscar, man. But yeah, so I'm not mad at the fight. Don't get me wrong. You know, I just have my doubts. You know, I just have my doubts. I think it makes sense for them to wait. Shout out to my guy Oscar in the building. What's good, brethren? My guy.
What's going on?
Yes, sir. I appreciate you being courteous too of Patrick earlier, man.
Nah, it's all good. He's new to this. Like me, Ty, Haney, Poster. Like that's all right because we've been here a little bit, but you know, we gotta try to please the new guys more than the old guys.
Yeah, we gonna pause that though. I don't need you pleasing no guys, but do your thing.
No, did he?
I'm just joking, bro.
Yeah, set me up like that.
Oh, fair, bro. I ain't be set you up, bro. You set me up. I just had to, you know, come through with the alley oop, man. You know, you hit me with the alley. I had to come through with the oop. You know, but
the good thing is that you dunked it like LeBron, not like a WNBA.
Yeah, facts. I ain't gonna dunk it like Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, but before you go, Oscar, if I may say something real quick, please. Shout out to Oscar. You just reminded me again. Hey, Patrick, I have to give you access to the BTF members only chat because on the Discord, when you're a member, you could talk in the chat at any time, whether I'm live or not. You know, that's a special privilege we give to the members. So shout out to all the members. You have access to the BTF members only chat. I just need to just give you that access, man, because you're a member on the YouTube side. So I appreciate you, bro. Well, go ahead, Oscar, man. Thank you, bro. Talk to me. I appreciate your patience as well. Shout out to Oscar.
Well. It's not so good whenever you're on the receiving end, huh, Benavidez?
I knew that's where you were going. Talk to me.
That's what happens when you talk too soon, man.
Facts.
Like that's why you never spit up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've been dirty, but I mean they've been dirtier than you, but you also haven't been the cleanest one, to be honest.
Facts.
His last 4 fights, I can't say nothing about it, but before that, he had a negative track record. And yeah, that's what happens when you spit up.
I'm talking about not even a couple of days after, Oscar. That's crazy, bro.
No, not even a week.
Not even a week, bro. Literally, not even a week. Literally.
This man over here spitting up and yeah. Nah, it's not good. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But like I said, I know Canelo and Eddie, they have the worst track record of anybody active right now.
Right.
But he also don't have a clean one either.
Right. Agreed.
And Brian Norman and Devin Haney, I seen your video. I like the fight. I will actually I love that fight. I ain't gonna lie. I think I got Brian Norman on it, but like you said, like, you know,
yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
But like you said, it's like there's still negotiations. I'm not gonna speculate on something that's not even set on stone yet. But I think it's a good fight, man. I think that's a great fight. And I bring you news, dog. I don't know if you know about El Bernardo Lopez.
Oh no, something good, hopefully.
Yeah, he's coming back.
I thought he just had a fight, like a couple months ago.
Yeah, he had a first round knockout.
Yeah,
something like that.
Okay, yeah, okay. Oh, he has another fight coming. Okay, appreciate it. Now I didn't know that.
I was watching an interview from him. He said, and I quote, and this interview is like 4 days old. I was gonna send it to you, but it's like all in Spanish, so I don't know if you want to look at it.
Yeah, man, please. You know I'm working on my Spanish, man. You know, so yeah, I definitely like to check that out.
But he said, and I quote, "If I come back, it's not gonna go for the IBS. It's gonna be another organism because the weight rehydration clause killed me that day. The what's it called? The altitude, and they had some car problems, and that's why he didn't come as prepared."
And we're referencing the Angelo Leo fight, correct?
Yeah, he said he only had like an hour of sleep, and that's why he was dehydrated and all this stuff. But yeah, all excuses, but he didn't want to use them as an excuse. He just said that it just happened. You let me know. But he said, if I'm gonna stay on the IBF, I'm gonna go up to 130.
Okay. 130 might get a little hot.
And if I stay at 126, I'm gonna go for another sanctioning body.
Yep.
But I'm gonna have one contender fight and right away, a title fight.
I love it, man. I love it, man. I love it because 126, like I said, no disrespect. I'm not laying any blame, but we need some more action from the title holders, man. Nick Ball, Fulton, Leo. Shout out to Leo. I'm gonna be a little easy on Leo because Leo just had his mandatory defense against Tomoki Kamada. Can't really hate and on mandatory. I need Espinosa. I just need some more action, man. I need some more. I need some unifications, man.
Now he did say something interesting. I don't know if you want to listen to this.
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
He said he was dehydrated on that fight, right?
Yep.
And he said that he wasn't able to recover. He didn't have much sleep. And watching Angelo Leo's fight prior and after Bernardo, it was like, how much power does he actually have? And how good of a boxer is really him? It just got me thinking because I hadn't really seen Bernardo Lopez fall like that. And Angelo Leo punch like that, and if you look at the punch, it's not even that hard of a punch,
bro. Well, as soon as you said it, I was thinking about it.
And you look at Kamada, he landed some good shots, and then also Bernardo Lopez is right. Like Angelo Leo is not a very good boxer. He grapples, he makes it dirty.
Yeah.
But hey, that's a tactic. I'm not gonna shit on Angelo Leo. So how strong of a title holder is he?
I mean, that's a good question, man. That's a good question. I mean, we talked about it, right? I mean, we know Angelo Leo, he lost to Stephen Fulton at 122, who's a title holder. I don't think anybody in their right mind hasn't beaten Espinosa. Nick Ball, I think Nick Ball's a toss up with anybody. So how strong is he as a title holder? I don't know, because I wouldn't say he definitively beats any of the title holders. Like I would say he definitively loses to Espinosa. I would have to put my money on Fulton because he already beat him. And then Nick Ball, I would lean towards Angelo Leo, but I think it's like a 60-40 at best for in favor of Leo. So I don't have him like whooping any of the champions. So how strong is he as a champion compared to the other champions? I would say not that strong. I'd say it's all right. As far as
after I seen that from Bernardo, and after I rewatched that fight, it got me thinking because the fight of that Angelo Leo fight is a fight that Nick Ball likes to fight. So it's actually a toss up there.
Yeah.
I was still leaning towards Angelo, but it just got me thinking like how much power does he really have? And how good of a champion is really him? Because I got Robesi beating him easily, hands down.
Robesi
and that's another thing. We haven't seen Robesi in a minute.
I don't know what happened to my boy, man. He caught that elbow in his eye. We ain't seen him since, bro. What's up with that,
I'm telling you. And if you look at Boxer, he's still suspended indefinitely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not even like 2 months, 1 month indefinitely.
I wonder if we got something going on medically then.
Espinosa took his eyelid out, bro.
That's crazy. Well, yeah, man. I'm about to open up the Discord after I cover this one little topic, and then so stick around, bro, if you don't mind.
I don't get
to do. All right, bet. Shout out to my guy Oscar, man. Always coming through with the gems, man. I just want to talk about this before I see you already in the back. Before I open it up to everybody, shout out to Team Slime. He said answer me this. Have you answer me this. You have never had a fight at 147, but you're ranked number 1 in WBC. Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, it's WBC though, right? It's crazy. Yeah, he's ranked number 1 in WBC. Hasn't really fought at 147 legitimately yet, but he has a big name, so I don't know. They kind of showing him love because he was a WBC champion at 140. So, if you move up, then you kind of get a title shot a lot of times with WBC. So I think they're showing him love off of that. But yeah, man, I like the Haney and Norman fight though. He said Robesi with Merck Nick Ball. I think so too. Kendrick said Leo punch was accurate. That's true, and he just stood there and took it too. He said it ain't about the power sometimes. I agree with that, Kendrick. But I will say this: what Oscar said. Oscar was trying to be diplomatic. I'm gonna be real, man. I'm gonna say, not saying that Oscar's not real. Oscar's definitely real, but he was being kind. And I want Oscar to speak with some more conviction sometimes. I feel like what he wanted to say was that Angelo Leo wasn't himself. And you know how we do on this channel. We always objective. But all things, we like to consider everything around the fight too, right? And the circumstances around the fight, it makes you think, bro. Like, I'm not saying that it's an excuse for him to lose, but we do look at reasons and justifications. It's like with Errol Spence and Terrence. Before I finish my thought with Luis Fernando Lopez and Angelo Leo's fight, I'm going to give you another example where I'm very consistent. I never take credit away from Bud for beating Errol Spence. But I could also objectively say that Errol Spence was not 100%. We already know that. We've seen him when he fought Danny Swift Garcia. Go listen to the commentary. Even Angel Garcia, who's Danny Garcia's father, said that, hey, I know that Errol Spence is not the same because I had people in the camp. I know people close to him, and they're telling me that he does not look the same ever since the car accident. But Errol Spence was still good enough to beat Danny Garcia. When Errol Spence fought Ugas, go listen to the commentary. They're like, oh man, Errol Spence does not look the same, but he was still good enough to beat Ugas. So with that being said, I still give Terrence Crawford because all his credit, because even if Errol Spence is not 100%, he was still good enough to beat other world champions. But so like people act like these things are mutually exclusive. He could not be 100%, and I could still give Terrence Crawford all the credit that he deserves. So my point is saying that if I bring up the fact that it's well documented that Errol Spence was draining himself to stay at 147. He stayed at 147 for too long. Probably should have went to 154. And if I say that, oh, he had eye surgery due to the residual effects of his car accident, people will say, oh, you're just making excuses for him. No, that's legitimately what happened. So let's go to Angelo Leo and Venado Lopez. If he's saying that he was struggling to make weight and then the bitch get concussed and he literally goes to the hospital because of damage from dehydration, you know, number one, that's his choice. I'm not taking anything for Angelo Leo. I agree with everything what Kendrick said. It's probably the well-placed punch, all that stuff. You're in the ring, you're responsible for your well-being. You see what I'm saying? And you're responsible. And I'm going to hold you accountable to compete at the highest level. You put yourself in that situation. So I'm not giving him, taking away any credit for Angelo Leo, but that is a pretty good reason as to why he looked like that during the fight. We still have eyes and we can still see. You see what I'm saying? The same thing another way with Nick Ball and Ray Ford. I never take away credit. I don't like Nick Ball. I will never take away credit for Nick Ball. I always be like, man, that was a good fight when he beat Ray Ford. In fact, I think that was one of his best wins. But I also do believe that Ray Ford stayed at 126 for one fight too long. Maybe two fights too long. Maybe he should have left when he fought Odebek Kumatov. But he was able to get away because he was good enough to still win. Sometimes you're going to run into a place where you might not be good enough to win, which is why Jerron Boots Ennis just moved up. And I salute him for that because he didn't wait till he was in a position to where, man, the shit hits the fan and he cannot recover because he's going into the ring handicapped or compromised. So maybe Angelo Leo maybe Luis Venado Lopez did that. And I think getting concussed to that extent is probably indicative of that. However, I don't care about that as far as giving Angelo Leo his credit, but I do think that that's a legitimate reason. Now, I would say this. If he feels that way, I don't even think he should be contemplating staying at 126, regardless what organization it is or what section of the body he's with. If you're feeling that way, you should just go to 130 because in the IBF, I think that all of the sanctioned bodies should implement some type of rehydration clause. You know what I'm saying? Those of you that are unfamiliar, the IBF sanctioned body themselves, they have a 10-pound rehydration limit for the weigh-in for the day of the fight. You see what I'm saying? So I think that all of the sanctioned bodies should adapt this same process. So what I'm saying is that if you're going to avoid the IBF, just go to the next weight class. You know, just move your fat ass up to 130. That's my personal opinion. But if you want to stay at 126 and then go the WBC, WBA, WBO route, it is what it is. That's my personal opinion. He's out here. He said, what you are saying is valid. I just don't give a Hey, Kenny said, I hear you, but I ain't listening. He said, hey, man, Venado.
You got knocked the fuck out, man. Give me my goddamn money.
Hey, man, he said Venado got knocked out, bro. I'm not going. That's funny, bro. Yeah, but facts, though. No, you're right. Hey, I'm not going to refute that. You're right, bro. Hey, man, you got knocked out, bro. Hey, knockout of the year candidate for sure. Robisi with Merck Nick Ball. Patrick says Errol Spence would have lost even if he was in better shape. I agree. Maybe he not that bad. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying maybe he would have performed a little better. He might not have lost that badly, but I'm not going to take away credit for Terrence Crawford. But I feel like I could say that and both could exist. You know what I'm saying? So now I will tell you, to me, excuses are things that aren't justifiable, aren't documented. There's no evidence. Like with Deontay Wilder, I'm not trying to shit on my guy. I like Deontay Wilder, but he voluntarily wore that costume and then came in the ring, lost, and said, oh, well, my legs weren't there. Bitch, who told you to put on the gosh dang looking like Halloween Michael Myers? Who told you to dress up like you're going to a masquerade ball for a fight? That's your fault. That's an excuse. Tyson Fury, I'm going on the flip side. Shout out to my guy Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King of obesity. We gonna be on this head top too. When he lost to Alexander Usyk, he said, "Oh, you know, I only lost because you know he's from a war-torn country and they're trying to galvanize the Ukrainian people." That's an excuse. But if somebody has been in a car accident multiple times, somebody is documented of not being able to successfully remain in the weight. Somebody had cataract surgery. Come on, bro. Like, what are we doing? We're not heartless, bro. Come on, man. So yeah, I think that I can say that. I don't think there's any version of Errol Spence that would beat Terrence Crawford. Not after that whooping that he got. You know what I'm saying? Bro, when Errol Spence hit Terrence Crawford looked back at him and said, "Nigga, you's a bitch." That's what he looked like, bro. Everybody was worried, including myself, was like, okay, what's Terrence Crawford gonna do when Errol Spence hits him? Terrence Crawford looked at him like, that's all you had? Errol Spence, bro, I told you to watch the fight, and my bad, I'm gonna change topics real quick. But this is why I say that I think Canelo's gonna beat Terrence Crawford. Because Errol Spence, go back and watch that fight. Errol Spence had no problem getting to Terrence Crawford. He had no problem putting Terrence Crawford in positions that we thought would be advantageous for Errol Spence. Go look at the fight, bro. He put Terrence Crawford in the corner. You could say that Terrence Crawford was letting him, whatever you want to say. He had Terrence Crawford against the ropes multiple times. It's just that his punch wasn't as significant or impactful as we thought it would be going into the fight. That was the only issue. And that's why I have Canelo winning. Because I do think Canelo's punches will be that significant. However, I will say this, Terrence Crawford is such a beast of a fighter, phenomenal fighter, that he might not approach it the same way. But I will say, as an avid boxing enthusiast, I haven't seen all 41 of Terrence Crawford's fights. I don't think anybody has besides Terrence Crawford, his family, and maybe Vomac. But I've seen a large portion of his fights, and I've never seen him fight elusively. Terrence Crawford is good because he always brings out the bigger dog in him. He's always a guy that outmans you, outpoints you. He does outthink you too. That's what you got to think to be a counterpuncher. But what I'm saying is that he doesn't fight evasively or with agility like Dimitri Bivol, or he's not slick like Floyd, or he doesn't. He's not a master of range manipulation like Shakur Stevenson. No, he's a precise puncher, a hell of a counterpuncher, and he's just usually the better fighter. But if you're gonna mix it up with a fighter that's bigger than you, and he's not quite as skilled, but I don't think the skill gap is that big. You know, I think the weight gap, the size gap, the size differential is much bigger. So I think that's gonna play a role. So that's my opinion on that. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't that Errol Spence couldn't get to Terrence Crawford. No, he just, when he got to him, he couldn't do nothing. That's what I think. He said, Doc, I shot my guy Ulster. Hey, shout out to my guy Clone, big member in the building. He said, basically, I feel bad for Spence because he only got a wheelchair after the fight. Apparently, they took away his purse. I don't take away. That's what I want to be very clear, bro. I love boxing, bro. I had Spence going in. I'm not taking away no credit from Terrence Crawford. But also going in, I did say that I was worried about how Errol Spence would look. You know, and I think that we should be able to draw the line and make a distinction between making an excuse for a fighter and being realistic. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes fighters do go in there hobbled and handicapped. You know what I mean? Look at Sergio Martinez. I don't take away any credit from Miguel Cotto, but you'd be a damn fool to look at Miguel Cotto versus Sergio Martinez and not acknowledge that Sergio Martinez was severely handicapped with his one leg self. I wasn't mad at Cotto for handling business. I was mad at Sergio Martinez for making me anticipate and be intrigued by this fight, and then you come in with one leg. You should have postponed it. You see what I'm saying? But I don't say, oh, that's not a good win for Miguel Cotto. No, that's a good win because you got to beat the person that's in front of you. And unfortunately for us as a fans, the person that was in front of Miguel Cotto was a hobbled, handicapped, compromised Sergio Martinez. But that's his fault. Call the fight off. Same with Manny Pacquiao. I don't want to hear that stuff when it comes to Pacquiao and Floyd. You know what I'm saying? People say, oh, his shoulder injury. No, well, he should have called the fight off. Postponed it. We already waited 10 years. The fight didn't happen the fight didn't happen in a fashion that was appropriate anyway. You see what I'm saying? It happened 1500 years after the time that it was supposed to happen anyway. So what's another month? What's another 2 months? Postpone the fight if you know your shoulder's messed up. But I don't want to hear about it a decade later when you give your Hall of Fame speech talking about, oh, I wish I would have postponed the fight. Bitch, you knew that then. Why you ain't postpone it then? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Manny Pacquiao, one of my favorite fighters, but he looked very bitter. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Floyd. I don't want to hear about it. Like, I'll make the excuse for you. I'll be like, yeah, dang, Manny Pacquiao's shoulder was messed up, but you were gonna lose anyway. That's how I see it. So I don't say, oh yeah, if he wasn't hurt, he would have beat him. No, I don't say that. I don't speak like that. You know what I'm saying? The version that was in there could have been better, but that version that was in there still lost. So I'm also gonna say that the version that would have been 100%, you would have probably lost too. It is what it is. That's the I ain't this ain't the butterfly effect. Bud turns Spence into slicks. Hey, watch your mouth, bro. Watch your mouth. Remember, Canelo was not KO people for a minute. Now, that's a fact. He hasn't KO'd anybody. But I will say this, though, Patrick, in my opinion, and I don't know if you agree, if you're in concurrence or not, but in my opinion, when it comes to that KO, I attribute that, and this is why I'm worried, because I attribute Canelo's lack of KOs not because of lack of ability, not because of lack of skill, but a lack of effort. And that's where that's the most dangerous. To me, that's the biggest danger of him losing that Bud poses. Bud's not going to play with you. So you come in there trying to half-ass it or be lazy or pussyfoot around, Bud going to whoop your behind. I'm telling you, that's just what it is. Bud's not going to play with his food. Canelo, I think he could have stopped Charlo. But Canelo, he's a veteran, bro. I think he knows when he could just chill and cruise to a victory. You see what I'm saying? And that habitual cruising that he was doing with Jaime Munguia, who I think he could have stopped, with Jermell Charlo, who I think he could have stopped. William Skoll, I thought he could have put forth more effort. I think that might bite him in the behind against Terrence Bud Crawford, but I still think he's going to win. And I will say that the reason why I skipped Edgar Berlanga, not because I forgot about him, but I do think that Canelo tried to. I thought Canelo fought pretty hard against Edgar Berlanga, so I got to give Edgar Berlanga that credit. I don't think that Canelo didn't knock out Edgar Berlanga for lack of effort. I actually thought that. I'm not saying he tried the whole time, but I do think he tried in spots to get Edgar Berlanga up out of there. Edgar wasn't going. That's just my opinion on that. You know, Edgar is a big dude too. So, but yeah, let me bring up my guy Irony and bring up Oscar. Anybody can call in now, man. We just gonna have a free for all. He said Canelo ain't been locked in for 2 years. I agree with that. Shout out to my guy Cinnamon, man. I still think he's gonna clap up Bud, hit him with that bing bang boom. I still think he's gonna hit Bud with that bing bang boom, but it ain't gonna be easy. And if he's not locked in, boy, I agree. Canelo is to go in there hungry, yes, because Bud will be hungry. Remember those commercials with LeBron and Kobe? You gotta be hungry, LeBron. How you get them rings, Kobe? You gotta be hungry, LeBron. Rest in peace, Kobe, man. You remember those LeBron and Kobe doll commercials? You gotta be hungry, LeBron. Yeah, Canelo gotta be hungry, bro, because Bud gonna be hungry. And Kendrick Spence did start streaming after the fight because he wanted a new career path. Is crazy. Shout out to my guy Oscar. Shout out to my guy Oscar. Shout out to my guy Irony, man. What's good, brothers?
Oh, I'm sorry, we're talking in Spanish. How you doing, bro?
No, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, bro. My bad. You want me to let y'all keep going or what? I apologize.
Nah, I don't get.
Okay.
I'm good, bro. Whatever you want to do.
Okay. My guy Ty in the building. What's good?
What's up, brother Ty?
One thing I forgot to tell you, man, about that Bernardo Lopez interview was the fact that he said he already sent the contract to Leo, and he sent it before Kameda.
Trying to get the rematch.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, he said, well, he said it, and I thought it. Like, you know, you're only responsible for what you say. He's like, I don't know why he don't sign it. To me, he might be hiding, bro.
Leo looking a little shaky. Looking a little shaky, baby. Oh Lord.
Just saying.
Hey, I appreciate that. I didn't know that. So I just seen that you sent me that interview, so I'm gonna check it out.
Oscar, you're getting a little carried away, brother.
Talk to him, Irony. Why you say that, bro? Why you say that?
I mean, how in God's name are you implying that a guy that just knocked? Listen, I love Bernardo Lopez. Okay, let me stop saying that.
Hey, whenever Irony gives that disclaimer, he about to say something crazy, bro. You know, first of all, I love this guy, and then he about to go in on this guy. But go ahead, go ahead, Irony.
You know me too well, doctor. You know me too well.
Like, I love him, but he's trash.
Right.
No, listen. I love Bernardo Lopez, but how in God's name are you implying that a dude that knocked you out like that is you know, talking?
I kind of agree with that, Irony. That's a good point. I must admit, I agree with that part.
It's not gonna sound good, but I mean,
yeah. Because even if you have a reason, you know, to justify why you got knocked out, you still got knocked out. So yeah, I don't think it. Yeah, that's a good point.
badly, bro.
That's
Real badly.
But I will say
Yeah.
it's still something. But I will give him credit for this. At least you know, and at least he was pursuing the rematch. So at least he believes that something was wrong. To me, that's what it shows me. It shows me that he really believes that he wasn't 100%, and I think that's a good sign. Whether he's real, or whether it's true or not, you know, I don't know, but at least he believes. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he shouldn't believe that. You know, maybe maybe he's wrong to believe that, but at least he believes.
I'm not I'm not necessarily denying that, but if you're Angelo Leo, I mean you're thinking about unifications right now. That's how I was
he?
telling Oscar.
I hope so.
I mean,
I don't know, man.
I'm saying what he should.
Yeah, what he should. I got you.
You know.
I hope so. I mean, talking about NAW anyway, man.
We're about to find. Yeah, exactly. And what's with these fighters and calling out Inoue, bro? It's like, you know, if you unify, you'd be more attractive for him to go up.
Exactly. It's getting exhausting, man. It's just getting old, bro.
Why would Inoue fight you when you're probably the least marketable champion?
Exactly. And that's why what Oscar's saying and what you're saying makes so much sense. And what I've said, it's like, bro, go get a unification. If you really want Inoue, go get Nick Ball. And then now you're unified. And boom, now you're more attractive. And you're more marketable because you beat Nick Ball.
Yeah, talking about that. If anything, I say Nick Ball is, you know, it's a coward. He's hiding behind these cherry pickers or these cherry picks. But if anything, I gotta give props to Sam Goodman, bro. He's like, okay, I can't make a fight at 122, but I'm gonna move up and try to fight Nick Ball. And if I beat him, I got the belt, and I beat the guy he's been calling out. But yeah,
that's an interesting take, bro. That's a very interesting. I never looked at it that way, honestly, because I just
Nick
looked
Ball.
at it as Nick Ball.
Exactly, like what you're saying. Like Nick Ball, like look from there, it's trash. Go get a unification, bro. Go fight Leo. But like from Sam Goodman, it's like, all right, bet I can't make the fight at 122. I'm gonna move up and beat the guy that you want and get the belt. Like you say you want.
I like that. And I will say this too. I think Nick Ball is the I do think Nick Ball is the biggest champion there. Not saying he's just because he has England behind him, you know what I'm saying? I think he's the most I think he's the most marketable.
Biggest from the market. Yeah.
I think he's the most marketable. Go ahead.
I mean, so what exactly is beating Sam Goodman supposed to get you? Because he's saying that somebody said that I think Oscar, correct me if I'm wrong, brother, but I think you said that he beat the guy that you didn't. Yeah, he didn't because he pulled out twice. I mean, he pull out twice with a cut.
Yeah, twice. Yeah, cut. Yep.
No. I say for Nick Ball, that's trash. Like, Nick Ball's got nothing to gain unless whatever he's thinking on his head. That I don't know. Why would you be even thinking that?
Yeah, he said he gave Sam Goodman credit for fighting him.
Sam Goodman, I have to give him credit. Nick Ball, he gets no credit. Even if he knocks out Sam Goodman. Even if you knocked him out like Angelo Leo did, Bernardo Lopez, you can't give him credit. It's a guy that's moving up.
Yeah, and exactly. to further emphasize what Oscar's saying, I agree with him because I feel like you, Irony. I feel like, okay, well, Sam Goodman, you know what I'm saying? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Yes. So when he had to cut the first time, I was like, okay, bet, you know, things can happen. I give people the benefit of the doubt. But then he had to cut the second time. I said, hold on now. Yeah, you know, and that doesn't mean that it's not true. It could be true, but now I'm going to question it. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's right or wrong, it looks a little shaky now. But to Oscar's point, I think that, you know, when now you anyway probably feel like, hey, I'm done wasting my time with you. But if he goes and beats Nick Ball, then it's like, okay, bet. Now Sam Goodman's attractive again. So I do think that Sam Goodman has a lot to gain. But yeah, Nick Ball is weak as hell.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, Oscar. I completely misunderstood what you said.
Yeah, it's only one side. One side is only gaining one thing. Nick Ball is getting nothing. I don't care if you knock him out. Like I said, it's like Devin Haney, bro. Like, what the hell?
That seems to be a recurring theme in Nick Ball, right? Fighting opponents that he has absolutely nothing to gain from. Right? That seems to be a recurring theme with Nick Ball.
Yep.
But back to, I mean, now, yeah, anyway, listen. First of all, and I said this when I commented on your video, Doctor, about Inoue and so forth. I say he doesn't, and you said it too. I mean,
I think
he doesn't have to go to. Yeah, you did.
Okay.
And now, yeah, Inoue doesn't need to move up to 126. Not even close. He can do that if he wants to.
I agree.
To me, he needs two things. He needs MJ and Junto.
Yep.
That's it for me. Like if you did that, I got nothing to say to you.
Me too.
Nothing at all.
I'll add Casemiro in there. Though he's older, I'll add Casemiro.
I would like to see. I would like to see that, but I don't think that.
Casemiro.
Yeah, I would like to see that. I would like to see John Real Casemiro and not anyway. But if he doesn't fight him, I won't be too mad at this point. But
not before those two.
Yeah.
Not before those two. Though.
Dog,
Yes,
bro,
sir.
tell me, Turkey said next December, not this December.
Nah, he said
With,
this December. He said this December.
Yeah.
No, not
Oh,
June.
MJ, bro.
Yeah, this December, bro.
I thought he was gonna fight MJ in September.
Oh no. No, MJ September. He said after MJ. He said after MJ the December fight for Picasso.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind that if he's gonna fight, like you said exactly what you said in the video. Like I don't mind it if he's not going to 126. If he's just gonna wait for Junto to be undisputed or whatever,
Right?
Because they're gonna make that fight, and then yeah, fight Picasso. But even though Picasso's team, I mean, they said that on the Mexican channel, Oscar, that Picasso's team didn't think he was ready for Naoya anyway, and that wasn't that long ago.
No, he said it again with this influencer from Mexico. That was like 4 days ago too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. So I mean, don't make 2 cents, but I mean, at least you get to stay active. I don't know.
Right. Give me a second, fellas. Hey, Oster, did you want to say something? Or you just chilling? I give you your time too, or Ty. I see Ty in the building. What's good, brethren? They both on mute, so if they just chilling, it's cool. But I just want to make sure that they don't want to say anything. Yeah, I think they're just chilling. Oh, there go my boy Ty right there. What's good, brethren?
And nothing. Got my hand in some ice. I snuck in the building.
Oh Lord, you was sparring or you?
It's war out here.
Okay, just making sure you ain't had to go up somebody's head top. You know what I'm talking about? That off GP. Hey, give me a second, Ty. Give me a second, fellas. Shout out to my guy Clone, man. Hit me on the Cash App. I'm just now seeing it, man. Shout out to my guy Clone dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. He says he said dropping $10 to give Nick Ball and Parker their flowers, you hater. Hey, one time for Nick Ball, you know what I'm saying? I will give him some flowers. Salute to Nick Ball for being the WBA champion, like, you know what I'm saying, and beating Ray Ford. I thought that was a good win, even though Ray Ford was compromised. I still give him that. It's not his fault. So shout out to him for that, you know, and shout out to him for I would say he's probably the most marketable champion at 126 right now. And then Joseph Parker, yeah, and Joseph Parker, you know. Shout out to him for, I mean, hey, he has to beat the people in front of him. He's been beating the people in front of him, and he's a WBO interim champion. I do not like his next fight. Bro, this is what I talk about Joseph Parker. Do you know who his next fight's supposed to be? Do you know Irony? You see what I'm talking about? And see, he's about to fight Derek Chisora, bro. And y'all get mad at me. Talk about I'm a little hard on Joseph Parker.
Well, hang on
a
second.
Man. Come on, bro.
Who was he going to fight when he fought Bacoli?
What you mean? Oh, Dubois.
Okay, and that didn't happen because of him or because of Dubois?
Dubois.
Come on, man. Well,
what they got to do? What they got to do with him fight Derek Chisora now?
You're saying. No. That has nothing to do.
Okay. I was making sure. Okay.
But you also give him the his flowers on the fact that he was fighting the guy, not named Usyk. You know, the guy.
I give him credit for that. Yep. I give him credit for being ready to fight Dubois. That's a good one. I give him credit for that. All day.
I appreciate
for
that.
being ready to fight Dubois. I give him credit for that for sure. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ty. Oh no, what you say, Irony? Sorry. I mean, what you say, Oscar?
Still not enough. That's still a trash fight.
Yeah, it's a trilogy, bro. Why are we? But that's the thing, though. Why are we get? I'm so sick of these unnecessary trilogies. But go ahead, Ty. Talk to me, bro. Sorry to interrupt, man. I know you said you got your hand and all that. Sorry, it was a Cash App from Clone.
Oh nah, cool. I was just going to yap about the guys getting back to work. Andy back to work.
Hey,
you know, they trying to line something up for him.
Andy Cruz.
O'Shea back in the gym.
Okay, we need to see her back at it. Let's get it. Hopefully, we get her on the MVP card one of these days.
Young Scooter been working this whole time.
Let's get right. Shout out to Stephen Fulton. So Andy Cruz is looking like no Murataya next. I'm asking if you can disclose. If you can't, it's all good.
Oh, nah. Moritai is going to take a voluntary.
We already knew that. See, chat. That's why you stick with us, chat. We said that. Come on now.
Against
IBF
who?
eliminator Andy Cruz to beat Mishiro, excuse me, down a game contender for an IBF title eliminator, but he's not going to get a title shot immediately. Which I say is not necessarily a bad thing. Shout out to Murataya, take a voluntary. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy your belt for a little bit. Get you a nice defense. Who Murataya's defense? I don't know who his defense would be. I don't think it's announced yet.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, shout out to Murataya. But hopefully Andy Cruz gets that title shot. Hopefully he doesn't lose in the interim. What'd you say, Ty?
So Shushu was capping out here again.
Oh,
claiming he called out all these guys. Why won't they fight them? Why do you wait until after somebody has a fight lined up and then speak their name?
Damn.
You know
you guys supposed something like that, bro?
Your promoter and matchmaker didn't want to make Fulton that. They offered it. They offered another guy. You speak on Nick Ball when you was the #1 contender. They bumped you down. He went to do something else. Now you're speaking with his name when he already has a fight announced.
Yeah, that's whack. And Omari's gonna get pissed. But you're right.
Some weak shit move. If you ask me.
That's for Espinosa. He'll gladly take that fight rather than being relegated to being on the shelf.
What's up, El Davino, man?
They want that pressure, bro.
Espinosa versus Shushu?
I wouldn't be mad at that, but I think Shushu fans would be mad at that.
Yeah.
That's not gonna go down well, I'm telling you.
No, not at all.
Espinosa smokes him.
Oh, easy. Oh, yeah, easy. I'm gonna lie. This is, you know what? With Fulton, like you were saying, what was it the other day? It wasn't yesterday. It was the day before, I think. It's like Abdullah Mason, we see progress. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can see progress. You can see potential.
Right.
But Fulton is like, we was looking at potential, but then all of a sudden, a step up in competition.
You mean Shushu?
You look bad.
Shushu, right?
Yeah, Shushu.
Okay.
Shushu. And like, you look bad. And for me, you got to give. Then against Coolwell, you look mid. And then against this guy, it's like, yes, you put him out, but that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I think Ty's the one that said it with that guy Lee. He's spot on with this. Like, you're still fighting prospect level, contenders, and you should be fighting champion contenders.
Yep. Oh, really? You talking about Brandon Lee?
Yeah, Brandon Lee. Yeah.
Right. I agree. Patrick says you can sell anything to UK fans as long as there's violence. That's the thing, Patrick. I'm not mad at it though. Shout out to UK because they do have a strong fan base, But it's like, man, why are we getting this? Like, bro, no disrespect to Amanda Serrano. You know what I'm saying? One time for the ladies and stuff. But
here we go again.
Yeah, Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. Yeah, bro, the trilogy just doesn't make sense, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. I had Amanda Serrano winning the second fight, but it doesn't. Like, she's 0-2, bro. Why does it make sense? Why does it make sense, Irony?
Listen, it makes sense for what you just said. You literally just told the reason why it does make sense. Because everybody under the sun thought Serrano beat her in the second
okay,
fight.
so
everybody
got beat twice.
But guess what? Thank you, Ty. There's people out there that just say she got beat twice. Number one, Irony. Michaela Mayer. Hold on, man. Michaela Mayer fought Natasha Jonas. Everybody thought Michaela Mayer won. Where's their rematch? They didn't get a rematch.
Yep.
So how many fights do we have where we think that somebody won and they don't get a rematch or a trilogy, bro? There's a lot of fights where we think that it should have went the other way and then it result in a trilogy or a rematch.
Doctor, you always do this. You always go somewhere else. Let's stay
Let's
stay right here. Stay right here.
Irony. The person that lost 2-0.
Right.
So Shaki and Robson need to do a trilogy then, right? Because I don't care what nobody says, 1-on-1, right?
That's that
makes more sense than Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. Yes.
It doesn't make sense because Oshaki got robbed the first time.
I didn't say it makes. I said it makes more sense than Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano.
Did you guys see the second fight?
Yes, bro. It looked exactly like the first fight.
So wait,
with all the headbutts,
you think Serrano
headbutts and everything?
Do you think Serrano's blew her out the water? You don't think that could have went either way?
He definitely beat her. No,
Oh, you think
not
so?
at all.
Oh, okay.
Serrano
I
beat her.
disagree. I thought it was a close fight that could have went either way. I did have Amanda Serrano winning, but in the Bivol Beterbiev fight, I had Bivol winning the first one too. So, like, sometimes you have close fights.
You see how it goes somewhere else?
No,
I'm not the same, bro.
Why is that not the same?
Right away.
Why is that not the same, bro? Why is that not the same?
Because he's not the same. What are you kidding me? Why is not that? Bivol and Beterbiev is one thing, and Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor is another thing. That's why it's not the same thing.
Shout out to the person in the chat just said their name is crazy. Yeah, we gonna pause your name. For JJ.
No, did he?
But he said Meyer beat Bumgarner. So see, look, and Bumgarner beat Meyer. So there's always going to be fights where people that are close that could have went either way. But the fact of the matter remains is that Katie Taylor is 2-0 against her. You know who should have a trilogy? It should be Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron. That should be a trilogy. They're both 1-1, and Chantel Cameron beat her first.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
That's the trilogy. If we want to see women, good women fight, that should be the trilogy we should be clamoring for. In my personal opinion.
Bro, I can't believe it. Like you on one sentence you say I thought Amanda beat her, and on another sentence you contradict yourself, bro. What's the deal?
How am I contradicting myself? I'm just saying I don't, bro. Okay, so look,
sense.
No, it does make sense because what I'm saying is I didn't have her like smoking her. I just had her. I had her up, but it was a close fight. Could have went either way. What I'm saying is that there's so many other. Okay, so look. It's not like there's a shortage of fighters, you know. There's other people that are more justified to fight not only Katie Taylor but also Amanda Serrano. So why are we holding up those people's careers and those people's progression for a trilogy that it's not even that important? So let me get this straight, Irony. So let's say Amanda Serrano does win. We gonna see a fourth fight? When we gonna stop?
I don't mind it.
You see what I'm talking about? Yeah, see, you're freaky. You freaky, bro. You just want to see.
How many times did Pacquiao? Now, hang on a second. Pacquiao and Marcus fought each other 4 times.
Pacquiao and Marcus are great.
Let me turn this on you.
That's different. They're great.
Let me turn this on you right now. Pacquiao beat. Pacquiao well. He to be fair, Pacquiao got robbed of a UD on the first fight.
Hey, dog, you looking at the screen?
A boneheaded. Nah. Hey, man, that's your son, right?
We gotta make this back PG.
Hey, okay, I am looking at it now. Yes, go.
See, he just cut me off. See.
Shout out to Oscar, appreciate that. He tried to slap you. He tried to get some work in. He said I already talking crazy, man. Put the pause on him real quick. Shout out to little Oscar out there, man. Yes, go nephew crazy, out there, man.
You just said you saw Serrano win. You just said that, but I'm talking.
Bro, I said it was a close fight, bro. I had Loma. Okay, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. My bad, bro. Go ahead.
Did you get mad? Did you get mad at Pacquiao and Marquez fighting 4 times?
Yeah.
Did I get mad?
Yeah, did you get mad?
Thank you, Ty. Did you hear what Ty just said?
You need to add context when you reference that fight.
Thank you.
Wasn't there a draw?
Thank you.
It wasn't like somebody went off 2-0.
Thank you. Took the words right out my mouth.
Okay, there was a draw. And then Pacquiao beat him in the second and third fight. So it's 2-0 and 1.
But before I answer your question, Irony, I'm gonna play your game. Like, would you like to play a game as I saw? I'm gonna play your game, but I want you to notice this real quick. You said that I'm gonna contradict myself. You got mad at me for bringing up Beterbiev and Bivol. You got mad at me for bringing up Michaela Mayer and Natasha Jonas. You told me that I was contradicting myself. Well, now you're being very hypocritical. The hypocrisy is crazy. You're bringing up Pacquiao and Marquez, but we gonna let it ride though. Go ahead, bro. We gonna let it.
Because I know that you like Pacquiao. That's why.
Bro. And I'll play your game. I was not mad at that. They could fight 1,000 times. I'm not mad at that. So I'm gonna play your game. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for making my point for me.
No, I didn't make your point. I didn't make your point because Ty made my point for me. There was a draw.
Irony, I got a question for you.
First fight,
because
go ahead.
Your point is gonna be null and void at this. What was the time frame between them 4 fights, and were they in the same weight category?
Okay, I understand.
Like, what's the time frame between them fights?
I don't remember off the top. Do you want me to give you like the years and everything off the top? Give me a sec. Pacquiao. Look this up, man. I don't know off the top of my head.
I can tell you off the top of my head, it wasn't in the 18-month time frame.
Talk to him.
And most of those fights were not in the same weight class. You talking about a rivalry where somebody's being forced into a third fight where she lost twice.
Shout out to Peel Out.
The only reason why that fight.
Sorry.
I was about to say something.
No.
The only reason why this fight is being made is because one person has the bag to force it on them. Nobody asked for this.
Come on now.
Besides people that's crying about, oh she got robbed, this, that, and the third.
And
She should have made some adjustments.
Thank you, Ty. And the thing is, how many people cried about my Mayor and Jonas? That's why I brought that up. When Irony said that I was what'd you say? Not moving the goalpost. You said something. I'm going out of bounds, or whatever you said. So
no, you always go somewhere else.
I go somewhere else. Thank you. Yeah, somewhere else.
Yeah,
I always go. So I went somewhere else. But no one pushed for Mayor versus Jonas because, like Ty just said, if there's no bag behind her, so that's why it's happening. And don't get me wrong, I'm not mad at it because it is a good fight. So I'm not saying it's not. I am mad at it. Let me rephrase that. I'm not mad at it though because it's a good fight. I'm mad because I just think that Chantel Cameron could be fighting Katie Taylor. Amanda Serrano could be fighting the girls that are calling her out. You know what I'm saying? There's Carolyn Dubois. Right. And how Sky Nicholson called out Amanda Serrano. Now I'm not saying that Sky Nicholson beats Amanda Serrano, but I'm just saying that there's people that are calling both of them out that they could fight that are just as interesting, if not more interesting. For Chantel and Katie.
Contenders that deserve that opportunity.
Come on now.
This is one of those scenarios where a champion is holding up a division for something that's
right. So drop the belts and then go fight 1,000 times. Drop the belts. Go fight 1,000 times. Who cares? But Alicia Bumgarner didn't Alicia Bumgarner want to fight Amanda Serrano, Ty?
Yeah. Let me respond.
Come on now.
Not letting me respond.
My bad. we got irony here, like fight back.
I'm just gonna say one thing before you go, Irony. Oh, can I say one thing before you go, Irony?
Sure.
This fight is like drag cow shit. Useless as a motherfucker.
Vaca caca.
I am suspect. So, okay. The Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano 3 is horseshit, you're saying?
It is. Because if Amanda wins, what does this do for her? Does this vindicate the other two fights? No.
Hell no.
Here fight 2 more times, so it could be what? 3-2?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like horseshit. I'm saying dry horseshit.
But you guys are getting ahead of yourselves here. Like, who cares about a 4th or 5th? Let's deal with the 3rd one first, shall we? So
that's what we're saying. There shouldn't be a 3rd one.
The argument, the question here is not who has the bag, who has this, who has that. The question here is that it supposedly doesn't make sense because somebody is 0-2, right? Which is Amanda Serrano, supposedly 0-2. Okay.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it does make sense because the record says 0-2, just like it says Oshaki and Robson is 1-1, and it says many other things. But
where this person lost 2 times.
Right.
2 times she's seen another person get their hand raised.
If you want to go into boxing records, we're gonna have a field day here with bad decisions.
You're the one that brought it up, bro.
What I'm saying is, they're literally doing what's right.
It's not a bad decision when it happens twice.
How many times do we say here that we need to make things right in boxing? This guy this girl got dealt a raw hand. They need to see it again, and it's happening. It's a bad thing too.
No, that's where we differ right there. We disagree because you're saying it's a wrong thing because I said that I think Amanda Serrano won. I don't think that you think she won clearly. I disagree with that. I thought it could have went either way. I just happened to go the way to lean towards Amanda Serrano, but I don't think it was some robbery. Like I said, that's why I brought up Mayor and Jonas. Like, Mayor and Jonas was a robbery to me. Like, I don't see how you, in your right mind, if you have eyes, you could have thought that Jonas beat Mayor, Natasha Jonas. But,
correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but where the controversy came is because I had Taylor winning. Because it was a close fight. But where the controversy came is we're like, oh, she was headbutting a lot.
Right, that's what
they should put a point on.
It was, yeah.
And I agree. Without a point, like if they would have deducted a point, then yeah, I agree. Amanda Serrano should have won. But the matter of fact is that they didn't. And
I don't see a point getting deducted in the manner that they were fighting. It's not Taylor's fault that you kept on diving on into the inside.
Right. Exactly. Right.
Exactly.
And then to add to that
And
too, Irony, you said
But
something
he
about
was
closure.
leading with her head.
I think Ty already answered that and addressed that. There is no closure. Even if Amanda Serrano wins, that does not bring closure. Dmitry Bivol and Beterbiev brings closure because they're 1-1. That's the point that we're making. Even Ty even said that
does
specifically.
bring closure.
How does it bring? No, there's going to be a fourth fight, bro. How does it bring?
Because
You're still 1-2.
No.
How does it bring
You
closure?
Because
lost
if
in your
Amanda
own
Serrano,
promotion.
because let me respond, bro. Oh my God. They're so scared of my response. It's crazy, bro. Man.
Go ahead, bro. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
just can't let me talk, bro. Unreal. Because if Amanda sleeps her, if Amanda
Sleeps.
her,
Okay.
it's gonna be the ultimate vindication, bro.
I still
So
disagree.
you
You
just
still won.
you're just supposed to sit there and take it and just whatever. The record in the end says 0-2, just like it says Canelo lost to Floyd on a majority decision. You know, if you're gonna go by records, I'll have a field day with you guys if you want to go with the records.
But even if you
of
go
the
with the
fight.
records, our point is that
Better
there's
stay
still
with the
guys
other.
that win and girls that lost that we didn't have a trilogy because it was close. I mean, did we get a Hamza Shiraz and Carlos Adames rematch? That was a robbery.
That wasn't even close.
Come on now.
Turkey's not gonna let his boyfriend in there with that dude again.
But
You
it
can
doesn't.
forget about
But like you said, when you brought up the promotions, what Ty did. Ty said the promotion is the only reason why it's happening. So even if promotion is the reason why it's not happening, the point is that it's not happening, or it is happening. You know what I'm saying? It could happen, and it should happen, but it's not happening. So why is this one happening?
I'm glad y'all
Bro, I don't
brought it back
know.
to this.
Let's
Irony.
stay with
What
Amanda
was that
Serrano.
last? What was that last show? What was that fight on? Whose
Paul
whose
Tyson
promotion was that?
MVP.
MVP, yeah.
Who signed the MVP?
Talk to him.
Amanda Serrano. Okay.
I don't want to hear shit about no Mick when you lost on your own show.
Damn.
So what you lost on your own show? What does that mean?
I'm sorry.
You can't sit there and say you can't go into a fight claiming you're going to get a fair shake when you had the pick of the judges.
Come on now.
You go out there and lose. You find about the same thing that you lost in the first fight over. She headbutted.
Did she or did she not headbutt her?
All right, give me a second. Let me give me a quick second. Already. Hey, Clone, shout out to my guy Clone, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. He says, Clone says, irony cooking, y'all. I got irony 2-0 going into the third. Not gonna need props of Hitman's brother to remix it. I'm gonna need to remix it. Shot. What's the dude's what's Hitman's brother's name again? Show off. Yeah, I'm gonna need to holler at Show Off, man. Shout out to my guy Chloe. Go ahead, Irony. What you were saying?
Doing this, guys. We need to stop. We need to stop doing this and like putting all these examples as if it's exactly the same thing, guys. That's a very disingenuous thing to do.
I give you no example. I was talking about the same fight.
I do it sometimes. No, the fight. No, I asked you something before. Doctor conveniently interrupted me. I was asking you, did she headbutted her or not?
Now he's snitching.
Yeah, we out here snitching is crazy, bro. Snitching is wild.
Did she head?
Were there head
Katie Taylor
clashes?
headbutt Amanda
Yes.
Serrano? Yes or no?
Were there head classes? Yes. That's what happens when you fight in the pocket.
Exactly.
Not good enough, bro. Not good.
That's like fighting somebody that's taller than you and not expecting to get elbowed by accident.
Come on now.
We can call it by accident. We can do that. But I did.
That's like fighting Floyd and not expecting to get hit by an elbow.
It's not like she leaned in and Ortized her.
Mm.
Now, if that was the case, all right, cool. But she's sitting there in the pocket, leaning in and trying to get off her hooks at the same time. Some of them head clashes were started by Amanda. But ain't nobody gonna say that.
Of course you guys agree. Of course you guys agree. The first of all, the Ortiz example is kind of whack. That was an extreme example, bro. He literally
this man only likes his own examples, bro. He don't like nobody else's examples, bro. Only his.
But Ortiz example is whack, bro. That was like a street headbutt. That was whack. Ortiz and Floyd Mayweather, you're saying, right? The Oscar is interrupting me because he's so scared of my response, and I don't blame him. But back to you, Ty.
What'd you say, bitch?
She did headbutt her. She opened the eye cut, which Amanda, it's a miracle Amanda didn't get stopped for that fucking cut above her eye. That cut was caused by a headbutt. And no, it was not initiated by Amanda Serrano. I actually saw the fight.
We saw it too. It was live.
So, Yeah.
There
So
was multiple
and,
head clashes, and they were initiated by both fighters. That's what happens when you're fighting in the pocket.
Uh-huh.
Let me ask you a technical question. When you're fighting somebody toe to toe,
Mm-hmm.
and you're sitting there framing and fight for space, is it possible for you to headbutt somebody? You might lean into their shoulder, or you might accidentally hit their head.
Absolutely.
You know,
Well,
if
I
she
mean,
was to sit there and
you
try
asking me
to petition that, do you think she will win her petition?
Nah.
Bro, she had her wobbled in the first round, and she wobbled her like 3 more times.
I'm
What
asking,
are we talking
if she was
about
to
here, bro?
petition that headbutt, do you think she will win that petition?
I got no idea.
Bro,
Should,
and
but I don't know.
to answer to you like the wobble thing, bro basically wobbled the fuck out of Spinos a couple rounds, but he still lost.
You see, he gonna say that's a bad example because it's not his. Joseph Parker got dropped twice. You just told me that. But Joseph Parker got dropped twice. So irony. Joseph Parker got dropped twice. Forget wobble. Joseph Parker got dropped twice. You just told me that Zhang lost, right? So why does it matter if somebody wobbles somebody multiple? So why does it matter that somebody? Why does the wobble translate to an automatic win?
No,
What's your point then?
Talking about different things.
Yeah,
here,
yeah. See,
bro.
yeah, it's a bad example.
Let's try to stay on the fight, please.
You want to get
If
the
you can,
ice in?
you know,
Shout out to Oster in the building, man. Irony got me right. Irony's hilarious, bro. Shout out to Irony, man. I'm smelling the square up, man. I'm smelling the square up, man. We might need a square up, man.
definitely do, and Oscar needs to stop ducking.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I know the answer, but you know.
No, Oster, I don't know if you want to talk, bro, but like your mic's open.
Thank you.
See, he's deflecting the topic. You see?
Oh no, bro, my grandma's on. What the hell you mean?
I'm hearing your talk. I was just talking to my cleaner. She's about to leave.
Okay.
Yeah, but we ain't know because your mic came on. That's what I'm saying. They ain't know who you were talking to.
Hey, my mic been on.
So whack, man. Seriously, you guys are whack.
He said we're
but
whack.
I still love you guys. Yeah. You know I love you guys.
After,
That's part of why I love
Ernie,
you. So what?
Ernie,
So
after this family thing goes through, bro, I promise you, we'll do as many square ups you want.
Give me a date. Give me an approximate, at least a month, 2.
Next week.
Don't forget to smack that like button, y'all.
I'll let you know if it's still doing on Tuesday and Thursday, right, Doctor?
Yes, sir.
I can do Tuesdays. If it does come down, like the nurse said, if it was gonna happen, then yeah, I got Tuesday.
Okay, so
don't rush it though, because he has some family situation. So don't force it, bro. We always
right,
be here,
right,
man.
oh, absolutely, bro. Like you can't. Yeah. I can always just kick the ass of Dub or Oscar. Are you up for being the backup guy if Oscar?
Man, Oscar don't want no smoke, man. Oscar don't want no pressure, man.
I know Clone ain't showing up, so let me call out Dub.
No question about what? Damn. No question about what?
Champion. He don't want to see somebody coming off an L.
Oh Lord. Shots fired.
That ain't gonna look good on my record, man.
I'm gonna let you have that one.
My record is 0-0. My record is 0-0. That ain't gonna look good on my record. I got to get a winner first.
Nah, man, it's your debut, man. You know what I'm saying? You get you a cherry pick, man.
Nah, I don't need no tune-up. I don't need no tune-up. I'm Errol Spence. I'm Errol Spence over here. I don't need no tune-ups. I don't do tune-ups.
Talk to him. My bad. I apologize. You know what I'm saying?
That's gonna come back and bite you in the ass, Oster. That philosophy is gonna come back and bite you in the ass.
It bit Errol Spence in the ass, so fuck it.
Exactly.
Hey, Patrick said we need a trilogy versus AJ versus Usyk. You know, I ain't gonna lie, Patrick. I was a little upset about that too. Like, I'm not mad at it. I was a little bothered. I ain't gonna lie when Usyk said that he wants to get the winner of AJ and Fury. I'm not really excited about that, bro. Because both of them will be a trilogy, whether Fury wins or AJ wins. So I'm not really interested. But I mean, it's a big fight, makes sense. But I'm not going.
It'll be more exciting if he only beat him once. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah, rematch, but trilogy. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Okay, let me say this. Let me say this because I do agree with you there, Doctor. Like the Fury Chisora trilogy was whack as hell.
Why? Tell me.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah,
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah,
I'm glad you asked because there
why?
was no doubt that Fury won the first 2 fights.
Okay.
0, less than 0.
Okay.
Thank you for asking that. I appreciate that.
Now I know you were being sarcastic, Patrick. No, I agree with you. No, that's what I'm saying. But I'm telling you why I was mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that one too much. But I still don't like it either. I know you're being sarcastic. I know you're being sarcastic about all of them. You talking about trilogy with Roach and Tate coming soon. Yeah, I know you're being sarcastic with all of them. But I was just expounding on that one because AJ and Usyk is a possibility.
Yeah.
Well, Usyk's next fight after Dubois, if he wins, a trilogy is a possibility because he's saying that he wants to fight Fury or AJ. Both of those be trilogy. So yeah, I'm not excited for that. Irony coming off of 2 L's like Doheny. Hey, he called you TJ Doheny. Nah, you can't take that. You need a rematch with Kendrick, bro. You talking about rematches? You might need that rematch with Kendrick, bro. Kendrick said you like Doheny, bro. He said you coming off of 2 L's.
What? Listen, Kendrick. Why don't you pull up, Kendrick?
He called you Dohinky, bro.
Pull up and say it to my face, Kendrick, huh? Pull up and say it to my face, huh?
Let me let Mr. Oster get some time in though, man. Holla at me, Oster, man. What you got for me, man?
Nah, well, I'm just listening to y'all.
You just chilling?
Yeah, I'm listening to y'all.
All right.
I'm listening to y'all talk.
All right.
You know, I don't be talking when I can't talk too deep. I can't talk too deep about the girls. I know the girls a little bit, but I can't get into conversation about the chicks.
I feel it.
You know what I mean? So I listen. I be learning though. When I start talking, y'all know I'm gonna know some shit though.
Hey.
That's why I be listening to them when y'all talk.
Talk
to be sitting here just listening.
Hey,
huh?
Old girl is 0-2, but it's somebody that just got signed to her promotion that been screaming her name for the last 3.5 years. But they deflecting her. They're telling her that she gotta go scrap somebody else.
Yep.
Matter of fact, stay your way. Don't come up here.
Come on now.
Yeah, don't come up here.
So she should focus on the small fish instead of the big fish. Got it.
Why?
She telling her
hold on.
undisputed champion.
Yeah, Alicia Beauregard is undisputed. You think she's a small fish? That's crazy. That's crazy. Irony. That's crazy.
Okay, I might get a little carried away.
Okay. Hey, it happens to us all. You know what I'm saying? It happens to us all. Just, you know what I'm saying? Hey, as long as you acknowledge it, you know, I'm cool. I make mistakes too. I get a little passionate. You know.
I gotta ask you a question, dog.
Yeah, sure.
I thought we watch all the fights though.
Say it one more time. Sorry.
I thought we watch all the fights though.
Oh yeah. What fight we talking about?
You know, somebody here said, "Oh, I actually seen the fight."
Shots fired, Irony.
Say that again.
No,
seriously. Oh, seriously, I didn't hear that. Cut out or something.
Seen a fighter not make one adjustment in 2 fights in 24 rounds. We ever see adjust? No.
And like I said, the controversy was never like that Katie Taylor won. It was the fact that they didn't deduct points in the headbutt. But like I agree with Ty, it was like there was clear headbutts. The ref didn't call it, and most of them they weren't intentional, bro. It's just shit that happens if it goes down. There were some that were intentional. I ain't gonna lie, but most of them.
Somebody's being honest. I appreciate that.
Yo, I got a question.
Stay away from Kendo. Trust me, he on fire. Shout out to Dub.
No, I ain't staying away from nobody. Too late for that.
What's good, Oster?
Yo, I just looked something up, right? And I want to ask you, right? Check it. I put here's a strictly my question was, whose resume is better between Floyd Crawford, Canelo, Spence, Kell Brook, right? And Kell Brook. Be very, and I'm telling them not for popularity, you know, just in resume base.
Floyd.
Which I think the order came up.
Oh.
I mean, from 1 to 5.
Put them in order. Okay. Can you say it again? Floyd, Canelo?
It was Floyd, Crawford, Canelo, Spence, and Kell Brook.
I got Floyd. My order would be Floyd, Canelo.
Resume based, no popularity. Resume based.
Yeah. Floyd, Canelo, Bud. You basically put in order. You put Floyd, Canelo, Bud, Spence, and Brook. But I would put Spence over Bud if we were talking about just personnel. But if we talk about accomplishments, That's why I put Bud over Spence.
No, we're talking about personnel. I got Canelo, Floyd, probably Budrick, Errol, Kell Brook.
What you say, Ty?
I'll keep it brief. Floyd, Canelo, the rest of them niggas.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Put some respect on Bud, man. Come on, man. Two-time undisputed, man. Come on, Ty.
When we talk about resumes, and you talking about those two, they don't have enough. Like it look a little lopsided.
I agree with
you
that.
Look at Floyd, and you look at Canelo's, and then you list guys that
I agree with that
are still building their legacy, or at least 5 or 6 more guys to compete with the two names you already gave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I was trying to put it down. The list came out the way I put it in. And that's the funny thing.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's why I was like, bro, you had it in order the way you said it. That's crazy. For me.
I was trying to find a comment. I did it with heavyweights just now too. I could tell you about that. But listen, the funny thing, they got Floyd now because it's resume based.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at Floyd now. Floyd got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
And counting.
I'm about to say he got like 23, 24, 25 champions on there, man. That's tough. That's hard to deal with.
He got 14. No, I'm saying key wins. This how it came up. Key wins is 14. You know what I mean? And they telling them who it was and like who was undefeated.
Oh,
so
like,
you know
like
he got
like a Google search or something, like AI overview.
Yeah, I was on ChatGPT. I'm trying to break it down.
Okay.
So they got Hernandez, you know what I'm saying, super featherweight. This is key win. So they saying that was his key win. And then Corrales.
That was his first belt, I think. I think that was his first belt.
Yeah.
Mistaken, Hernandez. Yeah.
Remember the Castillo 2 times, Gaddy, Zab, Oscar, Haddon, because Haddon was undefeated.
Oh yeah.
Now my point is this.
That's the hitman.
Yeah, he's undefeated. You got Canelo down here after Cotto, undefeated. Now look, we're gonna go to Canelo real quick, right? Real quick. Canelo got 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Look, check these out, right? He got 9.
Before you start, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Is this like personnel? No, it don't matter the timing. Or just like the name.
I'm just going about it. This is you put it in ChatGPT. I put it in there and I say resume based, be prompt and very detailed, and no popularity. So it was just resume, just what George did in the ring, and this how it came out. But I'm more concerned. I'm looking at the actual fights. See, Canelo got undefeated with Trout. He beat an undefeated WBA.
Yeah.
Laura, they say controversial.
Yep.
He got Cotto, middleweight champion.
Yep. Also a diamond belt or something like that.
Yeah, draw 1-1-1. The Jacobs, Sergio, lightweight, WBO lightweight heavyweight. Yeah, light heavyweight. Billy Sanders undefeated, WBO 168. Taylor Plant undefeated, IBF 168. Charlo undisputed 158, moved up. Now this is where I didn't know. I thought it was gonna be Spence then Crawford. I really thought that for some reason. But it's Crawford. Now the funny thing about it is that this is what funny. Now Crawford got 7, right? He got Ricky Burns, WBO lightweight. Gamboa undefeated. Postal undefeated, WEC 140. Julius, remember Julius Andogo? Undefeated.
Yep.
Yeah, undefeated IBF WA 140. Joe Brooks. He got Sean Porter, first man to stop him, and Errol Spence, undisputed fight, dominated KO win. Now Spence, this is the funny thing. Spence, I've just realized Spence has never beat nobody that's undefeated. Because Spence got Kell Brook first. He got Kell Brook. I'm just saying what they got up here. This ain't me. Kell Brook in UK broken eye socket. Lamont Peterson, Garcia shutout 135, moving up.
Yeah.
Porter split decision.
Mikey Garcia was undefeated though. He was undefeated.
Yeah, Mikey Garcia was undefeated.
But it don't say it. It just say shout out. It say shout out. It say shutout. 135. LB moving up, and then August for WA champ.
Yeah. Like you
Kell
said,
Brook ain't got
it's
nobody.
Chat GPT though. So yeah, he said
Yeah.
Kell Brook ain't got
Yeah, no,
nobody.
I'm just, no, I was just,
But
yeah, Kell Brook ain't got nobody.
he missed some content.
Yeah, it's Chat.
No, I was just,
I like this though because to me this brings up like
yeah,
a general. It's like
yeah.
it's like a baseline that you could kind of go off of. So I like this.
Yeah.
It's trying to be
Yeah,
unbiased.
that's why I
Yeah.
asked Shaw. That's why I ain't be like, yo, I'm trying to act like I know. I'm like, yo, I wouldn't chat you and I just put this in here because I wanted to see the actual resume, you know, without everything else, and just see who they fought. And you know, be people like, because you remember, I'm doing this based on the shit when Canelo told Crawford, you know, you ain't got nobody on your resume. So let me just look and see who everybody's status when they fought him. You know what I'm saying? When they fought him, what was their status when they fought him?
I'm gonna let Ty get in here, but I think though what Ty before Ty goes real quick. My bad, they're busting off fireworks down the street. If y'all hear that, but shout out to Mike Mazik in the building. What's good, brethren? But like Ty said, it's gonna leave out context, and I know a lot of times we think that Chat GPT is right, but you got, you know, I'm not talking to you right now. I'm talking to everybody. It's like, but you know, a lot of these AI things, they only know what you tell it. You know, they're getting it from some database. It's not like, you know, and that's why AI will never be able to surpass humans because we're doing it, you know. So there's somebody that's programming it. So no matter, it might be smarter in one aspect on something that I don't know. Like shout out to Oster, he admitted, he said I'm not sure, so I just put it in there, see what they gave it back to me. But it's like Ty said, Ty knows you had to add some context. Like I said, you know, he said the Chat GPT said Spence didn't beat anybody undefeated. And I think you got to add context to that too. Maybe he may not be anybody that's undefeated that was notable, but even that was wrong because Mikey Garcia was definitely undefeated. You know, and it's so funny that, you know, the other day we were talking about this AI stuff and it was a joke, but you know, I know Oster watched basketball, but they did a segment on NBA Inside the NBA TV and they said, is Ernie a black man? And it came back that Ernie was black. You see what I'm saying? Just because, you know, it's taken it from some database where they play around with that question a lot, but they thought Ernie Johnson was black. So it's just a lot of people think that Chat GPT and stuff like this is always right. It's not true, but for,
black,
generally, right? yeah, exactly, exactly. But you know, but generally speaking, it's usually correct. But go ahead, Ty. I know Ty wanted to add.
Oh, before you start, like I was gonna say, like, just to add on what you're saying, Chat GPT is cool for like more mechanical things, you know, more like let's say you're a guy that do shorts, right? Like if you put on, hey, tell me minute per minute where the highest peak so I can do shorts, it'll kick out that like it's just gonna feel like, oh, this is a high peak, this is a high peak, this is a high peak. But whenever you're actually trying to look up knowledge, then that's different.
Yeah, because you know it's a lot of times it leaves out context. I agree.
But,
yeah,
well, like
it's a good benchmark though. It's a good benchmark though. I'm not knocking it. You know,
just like you're a guy that do shorts, and it's like, okay, tell me the highest peaks minute per minute, and you can do short stuff with them.
But understandably though, you know, not just Chat GPT, because shit, if you based on that, I mean, we all know, because this is brand new coming out now, so we all know the whole computer is based on what information you put into it. You know what I mean? What comes out of it, we all know that. So that's what I'm saying, like a baseline, or you ask general questions. I don't really go by none of this like standard, all the way standard. Sometimes they hit, sometimes they on point, you know, whatever they got going on, because it's all based on data. It's all based on, you know, like you say, you got a million of these AI little things out there. But I just fuck with it just to get a general perspective and then bring it to manneru people with a brain. And I'm not talking to like AI.
Yo,
I'm
what's
not
good,
putting it in
Cam?
the computer. You know what I mean?
What's popping?
I put it and say, yo, what y'all think about this? And you know what I mean? Because like you see, it was one thing in there. Everything must have been correct, but it was one thing with Michael Garcia. So we like, yo, nah. Because if I went by Chat GPT, I would think that's what I said. I said, yo, I said, the funny thing is when I see Spence, it don't got him under. That's why I said it's funny. I said that get funny now because they don't have no undefeated fighters.
But what's
and we said Michael Garcia.
No, my bad. I didn't mean to. Sorry about that. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was saying, I was just explaining, like when Mike Garcia came, that's why you got to bring it to men with people with brains. You know what I mean? Because we the ones fix computers. You got to remember that we the ones fix computers.
And not only that, I gotta let Ty go because I want to let Ty go real quick. I want to say too, what you said was very important too. Is like that's why you can't replace actually watching. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, you know, no, whatever it is, just being part of being into shit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, don't have to be sports, you know, but whatever it is, like if you're actually a guy that's fishes, you know what I'm saying? And you know, you ask Chat GPT how to fish, but then you go talk to a fisherman, he gonna break it down a little differently. You know what I'm saying? Give you more context. So, yeah, but go ahead, Ty.
Yeah.
And then you go after Irony. Let Ty go. Sorry about that. Let Ty go.
definitely good for the matter of fact things, but when you try to ask a nuanced question, depending on the data it has available, it's not going to give you the proper context. Like with Mikey Garcia, he was undefeated, multi-division champion. It wasn't like he was only coming from 135. He was simultaneously a unified champion at 35 and the WBC champion at 140. So when people say he came from 35, that's incorrect. He really came from 40.
But you know, it's the funny thing too. Even with Crawford, they don't say Spence undefeated. They said undisputed fight, dominated KO win. They didn't say I went back and I was looking. I said, let me look, because Spence was undefeated.
Yeah, they're both. Yep.
Yeah, it don't say that. It says undisputed fight, dominated KO win. Yeah,
I am not.
Oh, my bad. Under Spence's personnel, do they have Lamont Peterson listed?
I don't think I heard that.
Yeah, they got.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah, they got. He the second on under the key wins. They got Kell Brook as his, I guess, number one key win because it says NUK broke eye socket, and then the second one is Lamont Peterson.
Yeah. You messed up.
And they don't got nothing on the Lamont Peterson. They just say Lamont Peterson, and the third one was the Mikey Garcia. And then the Sean Porter, then the Danny Garcia, and then the
Danny Swift.
Oh, Ugas. Yeah, then the Ugas.
He wasn't that swift in that fight, but yeah.
I know. Why did Danny Garcia fight Errol Spence that way? Can somebody tell me that, please?
Let me say.
Remember? Oh, go ahead, Iron. You've been waiting for a minute. Go ahead.
Let me just say a couple of things. So, what was I gonna say first? The resumes, right? First of all, I'd like to say it's funny that you mentioned that Ricky Hatton was undefeated because I know another dude that was undefeated that never gets undefeated around here. But anyway,
back to Ricky Hatton.
Back to your question.
That's crazy, bro. It was ChatGPT, bro. Gosh,
it wasn't me. It was
ChatGPT, bro.
No. I've heard you say that as well, Doctor.
I didn't say nothing.
But anyway, back to your question.
He's fake pitching.
Don't think I forgot, bro. I don't forget. Well, maybe I do.
Hey, ChatGPT, bro. Hey, Patrick, this man don't like. He don't like Hitman, bro. I love, bro. Hitman was my favorite fight. He don't like Hitman.
I love
bro.
Hitman.
I
love the real Hitman.
Oh, okay. Oh no, sorry. He doesn't like Hitman Hatton. Sorry, he likes Hitman Hearn. Sorry, he doesn't like Hitman Hatton. My bad. My bad.
Okay, I appreciate it.
He likes the Hitman video game, not Hitman Hatton, bro.
Yeah,
that's crazy, bro.
I didn't listen to this, bro. Hey, Ricky Hatton.
Just got knocked the fuck out.
Hey, Ricky Hatton.
Just got knocked the fuck out. I'm ending it for you. I'm ending the choir for you.
This man heard
it goes, hey, Ricky Hatton, you just got smoked. Hey, Ricky Hatton just got knocked the fuck out.
That's crazy.
And it's not Ricky Hatton, it's Ricky Fatton, by the way. But anyway, that's another story for another.
That's crazy.
Resumes, bro, like, much as I hate to admit it, Canelo is right up there, obviously. And
why do you hate to admit that, bro? Why does that hurt you?
Because it's Mickey as holy hell, bro. It's Mickey as holy hell. I mean, listen, bro. Let me tell you something, Oscar. You're probably not gonna want to hear this. Doctor definitely doesn't want to hear this.
Bro, I can't, bro.
Oh no, you know, I told you how I felt about Canelo. I tell you how I felt.
Oh, that's true. I'm sorry. That's true. I'm sorry. That's true. The reality for Doctor is that every time Canelo fought somebody with a pulse, and in their prime, which is like 2 or 3 times, he was either Mickey as hell or they were on their way out, literally.
Oh, okay. 67 of them. 67 of them? Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 67 of them. I mean, you hang on a second. Trust me, you don't want to go.
67 suspicious wins. Okay, but you want to sell me on 18 wins. But Canelo has 67 of them things. But you want to sell me on Lomachenko's 18 wins. Oh, okay. You want to sell me on Lomachenko's 18 wins and 3 losses. My guy has 67 wins, 2 losses and 2 draws. But you want to sell me on the guy who has 18 wins and 3 losses. Oh,
Dog, the point was to make it point. You didn't have to cook him like that, bro.
My bad. You're right. Let me shut up. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was a little bit passionate. My bad. I'm sorry, Irony. Proceed, bro.
No, don't apologize, bro.
I was a little intense, bro. I apologize, bro.
I don't mind it, bro. Not at all. I actually welcome it. But Oster, take note. You know, Doctor goes right to the stats that favor him, right? He goes right to the numbers. He doesn't go into the people. He go into the nothing because it doesn't behoove him to go there. He knows he's gonna get.
Hey, one time with movement.
He goes to the personnel.
Shout out to Irie.
I know one stat. I know one stat Canelo got.
What do you got, bro?
And beat those two major fights. Canelo remind me of Brady.
Tom
you
Brady
can't win those two. Yep, you can't win those two.
Hey, I'll take it. That's good company. If you put anybody one time for Brady, I'll take that. Canelo and Brady. Hey, that's a good company right there. MJ.
No, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Nah, hell no. I ain't shoot myself in the
Come on, man. You just
look, Irene's mad now. Irene's mad now because he compared Canelo with Brady. That's
no, you messed up his point. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, facts.
You messed up his point, bro.
Not at all. I think he remind me. Canelo, I don't care. He remind me of Brady. He can't beat. And he ain't going back fucking with them neither.
That's
you heard me. So
hey,
and Canelo is a hoe. Did you hear the whole shit Canelo said? Did you hear the whole shit Canelo said? Why we ain't talking about that?
What you mean?
How that man going? How that man going?
We're going topic by topic here, Oster. Give me a second. Don't let them off the hook. Give me a second.
Okay. My bad.
That's the reality. The reality of Canelo's resume. You can throw numbers all day long if you want to, which is fine. He does have almost. Well, when it's said and done, he's gonna have 70+ fights. If he doesn't already, I think he does.
He does. Yeah, he's 71, yeah, 67, 2-2, yeah.
Crazy. Crazy.
So when it's all said and done, he's gonna have like 7, whatever. The point is, if you go down the resume really and look at it with a microscope, which you won't do ever.
Not the Loma microscope though. A different microscope. What kind of microscope?
You can't. We can go in there as well if you want. I don't run like you guys do.
I'm just trying to figure out what kind of microscope, bro. I'm just trying to figure out the apparatus that we're using to look at these resumes, bro. I'm just asking, bro. I'm just asking, bro. I'm just asking what kind of microscope we got.
Let's do it, bro.
I don't really have to look at his resume because I actually watched his fights when he was coming up. That's one thing I would say about Canelo. I grew up watching him. You know what I mean? Like I grew up watching his career grow up. You know what I mean? Because in Mexico we didn't have cable, but I had the Azteca TV and Televisa, and that's where they showed his fights coming up.
Tecate. Shout out to Irie, man. Irie funny as hell, man.
But yeah, no, I mean, everybody got their questionable wins, but Floyd got the best gatekeeper / jobber ever, bro. And he's one of my favorite fighters. Emmanuel Augustus, bro. Like, he did fight me, that guy. So, for me, at least, that holds a lot of weight for Floyd.
One time for the drunken master, Emmanuel Augustus.
And he was actually ranked.
Talk to him, Ty.
Yeah, he was actually ranked. Yeah. People don't admit it though, or people don't remember him like that. But he's the greatest gatekeeper. Hey, that was the greatest gatekeeper / if you want to call him a jobber. I don't call him a jobber, but a lot of people do. I think he's the best gatekeeper ever for me.
Shout out to I already saw Olivia head rent free.
What is he talking about? Who are you referring to, bro?
Emmanuel Augustus.
Emmanuel Augustus?
Man, nah, that don't sit well with me, but it's like a sour fucking tea that I gotta swallow, you know?
Wait, what do you mean?
I love him.
You don't think he's the greatest gatekeeper?
I mean, man, he was a hell of a fighter that, oh man, I just felt like he got. We're still talking about Emmanuel Augustus, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying he's championship material. I'm just saying gatekeeper. Like Johan Vasquez is right now. You know what I mean? Like, you know who Johan Vasquez is? The one that fought Abdullah Mason? I think he's
dropped him.
Yeah, he's a hell of a gatekeeper, bro. I love that guy. Every time I see that raggedy ass haircut, I know there's about to be a fight.
That booty cut.
Yeah, that rat ass cut.
Who said that? Whenever you see a guy, was it Utah? So whenever you see a guy with that cut, you know he got power. Who said that?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
That drive me crying, bro. He got that booty cut, boy. You know he got power, boy.
Yeah.
So they say in Texas,
fact.
When you see boy with that booty on his neck, you know he hit.
You know he hit.
Let me tell you another record that Canelo has. You know another record that Canelo has, Oster?
Here we go. What kind of record?
Doctor knows it. Doctor knows it. Who'll never admit it, but Doctor knows it.
Go ahead, bro. What kind of record, bro? And then we gonna let
Ducking David.
And then we gonna let Oster tell us something that we already know. Well, you know, so he think I let him off the hook.
I
let my brother off the hook.
Funny?
Though. Go ahead, Oster. Go ahead, Irony.
You know what's funny? What's funny is that on one hand they'll tell you this guy's the face of boxing. He's this, he's that. He's the best thing since the car tire, right? They'll tell you everything about Canelo. But if the fight doesn't get made, but if the fight doesn't get made, it's the other guy's fault. You know, like they'll do this double talk, bro. You can't help but laugh, bro. It's like, what?
Who did I say that about, bro? Who did I say that about?
You guys ever notice when it's an opponent like Berlanga, like in other words, when they have no business being in the ring with him, the fight gets made in 2 seconds?
You mean number one rank guy? It's that one, yeah.
You ever notice how the fight gets made in 2 seconds when it's an opponent like that? But no, he never got ordered. Benavidez didn't do this. But he's the face of boxing.
Wait, hold on. May I ask you something? All jokes aside, have I ever accused Benavidez of not getting that fight? Of it being his fault?
Thank you.
You said, and I think Ty confirmed it. That it didn't get made because Benavidez didn't enforce his
you're lying on me.
Whatever the hell.
You're lying.
I'm not lying on you.
You're lying on me.
He's snitching and lying?
I've never said that.
Oh no, you can't do that, bro.
You lie. Yeah, snitching and lying is crazy. You out here lying and snitching is crazy.
Not words.
Thank you, Ty. But I do say it's not Canelo's fault. You're right about that. So you're partially right. But I say that we should blame the sanctioning bodies because look how fast they moved with urgency when it came to Bivol and stripping him, because they ordered the WBC mandatory in favor of Benavidez when it came to Bivol, but they didn't do that for Canelo. So I say that if Canelo, but hold on, I say that if Canelo was ever ordered, that he would have been stripped. So I'm saying that the fact that he wasn't stripped and he didn't fight Benavidez lets you know that the order was never put out there. You see what I'm saying? But I do always say that Canelo is a face of boxing and that he could make any fight that he wants, and therefore he cannot make a fight if he doesn't want to. So I don't think he ever wanted to fight Benavidez, but I never say, but I never said that he was scared. Those are two different things. Saying somebody's ducking and somebody's scared is different than saying. But you just said that I blame other people. I never blame Benavidez.
Damn.
So that's a lie. That's what I said. You lying. I never blame Benavidez.
Well, there's a little more to the so-called sanctioning bodies, and what I mean by this is,
well, I do say that Benavidez should have tried to get it enforced. I do say that, yeah.
Canelo has an energy. Canelo, let me explain something to you. Canelo
real quick,
has
then we'll let Oster
energy
go. I hear you, Oster. My bad, bro.
Yeah, it's just the last thing. I'm sorry, Oster. Canelo has an energy drink company called Yaoka, right? That happens to be one of the sponsors of the WBC.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that would be like the Lakers being one of the sponsors of the NBA. That's how mixed that is.
No, but I say that. But I say that they don't strip him because they don't want to make same reason why none of the sanctioned bodies strip, because he's the man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the IBF for finally doing it with William Skull and Vladimir. But he's the face of boxing, bro. It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
You play the game, bro. It is what it is.
What does that mean exactly? He's the face of boxing. What does that give you the right to exactly?
What do you mean? What does it give you? Every concession that he gets, that's what being the face of boxing gets you. I'm not saying that it's right, but you're blaming him for an administrative body not enforcing their rules. And if they're not enforcing it, that's because they're doing it because it's in their favor to not do so.
Yeah, I agree. No, if you let me add,
of course it's in their favor not to do so.
But how is that the fighter's fault? So how is that the fighter's fault?
Because the fighter happens to own a company that happens to sponsor the so-called sanctioning body.
But you're adding that in. They make concessions for any guy that's the money man or the big person in that division. They always do that. Bro. Come on, bro.
Can I add something to it? Can I add something to it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The WBC
and then
will never strip a Latino/Mexican fighter. They will never. Ever, unless the other guy makes some more money.
That part. That's all I'm saying. That part right there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm damn saying.
Am I saying it's right? No, I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's actually very wrong. You've seen actually
champions.
I recall you saying that Sergio Maravilla Martinez, he got done dirty by the WBC. If you remember, he's probably the first guy. Well, not the first guy, but the highest notable guy at this time that went against a company because the godfather of the guy run the company, and that's who Cesar Chavez Jr. Like his godfather was the WBC head guy. But like, yeah, the WBC will never strip a Latino / Mexican guy unless he makes more money. Does Benavidez make more money than Canelo? Absolutely not. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's very wrong. But I'm saying
Can I
that's
jump in here
happening
real
now.
quick?
Yes, sir. Please do, Ty.
Yes, sir.
And then the Oster, man. We got the Oster go again. Go ahead, Ty. Sorry. And then the Oster go.
I got one thing for this, and I got another for Oster. For Oster is a question. But to touch on this subject, no Diddy.
Yeah, we gonna pause.
I'm
that.
not buying that. Well, he has he's endorsing the WBC stuff because does Triple G make the WBC more money than Canelo?
Great question. I see where you're going.
But they made him come up off that belt, and he was mad. When Charlo had his manager go to that WBC convention and force his way into becoming champion at 60. What Canelo do? And they can petition for franchise status. Got up out of here. So WBC not going to just give you anything or just let you, willfully duck somebody. It's funny how Samson Lewickovic can, somehow submit his proper paperwork on B-Vol, but not
David.
Canelo.
Come on now. Talk to him.
Is that Canelo's fault or is that David's fault?
Come on now.
Same thing as reason why it took so long for him to fight Plant. Bro, you represent both those guys. They were champion. Why does it take Canelo to come up to 168 for you to, spin the block and try to fight Plant now?
So you telling me they were both champions at the same time with the same promoter and they couldn't make the fight happen?
Damn.
Same promoter, same manager, same everything.
Damn.
That's whack.
And y'all had a scrap in the gym. See, that fight sold itself.
Come on now.
2 undefeated champions.
Yeah, yep.
Same promoter, same company.
Too. Jump, like you said, had to scrap in the gym. They jumped my boy. They jumped my boy sweet hands, man. Him and his trainer. He said, WBA agreed there were too much shit in Tank's hair. That's crazy. They don't do my boy like that, man. Too much hair grease. Nah, that's a fact though, Ty. I appreciate it, man. For real. Cause I already be I be showing favoritism. I do like Canelo now. Y'all know that I like Canelo, I like Tank, I like Junto, but I try to be objective, man.
Let me be clear with something.
You can't be clear, bro. Ty's still going, bro. You in the corner.
Yeah,
go ahead, Ty.
We were reading off that list, Oster. And it said Canelo's notable fights. GPT gave Canelo 9 fights?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So 9 wins.
It said key wins. It said 9 key wins.
9 key wins.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why I was asking if it was like just name wise.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said key.
The time they fought him.
Yeah, that's why Floyd was 14. That's why Floyd was 14.
Yeah, so yeah.
So whatever they think key is, I don't know what they think key is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what
Yeah, I think Carlos Baltimore is actually better than Cotto's win, if you ask me. On Mayweather.
So 9 key wins on Canelo's resume. 19 legacy fights, but Loma has 18 wins.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Damn.
Why'd you do that? Oh Lord, he dropping bombs on him. He can't take all that. He can't take all that, bro. He can't. Why you did that, Ty?
Are you sure?
Nah. Ty got to go in timeout. Nah, that was. Come on, man. That was a low blow, bro.
Right.
Yeah, that's a foul, bro. We got to give him technical, bro.
You just had to make a point, bro.
He's an Ty is an Andre Ward fan, so it's natural that he landing out low blows. It's just natural.
Damn, low blow for low blow.
I ain't gonna lie, that was a good one, Irony. That was a good one, but ain't no disrespect to the son of God. We about to kick you out, but that was a good one. I ain't gonna lie, that was a good one. Watch your mouth about Andre Ward now. That's crazy. That's too far now. Yeah, you're going too far now.
Yeah, that's low. No, dog, that's
Truth hurts, brother. Hey,
dog.
the
That's
truth hurts,
completely
buddy.
legal, bro.
But
Low
but I
blood
can
pressure,
always
low
lean on this
completely
though,
legal.
irony.
Right.
30
The truth
fights,
hurts, buddy.
30 victories,
Dang,
16
That's
key
32.
fights.
dang.
You're talking about Andre Ward, right? That's 32 wins.
Shout out to my guy.
Ooh.
Hey,
Well-
Patrick, be easy, man. God bless you, bro. Appreciate you coming through, man. Have a good night.
Hey,
Catch you in the
Patrick,
morning,
stay
good Lord
easy,
willing.
bro.
Thank you for
Hope
calling too.
Hey, you gotta hop in one of these days, bro. Like, you hop in whenever we're talking. We love
Yeah,
Capital
yeah,
BD.
facts.
I would love to have you, Patrick.
We got Holly
You
Holmes
guys
in the
do-
ring right
I'll
now
be
doing an
gentle.
open workout.
I'll be gentle with you, I promise.
Hey, yo, we gonna pause that.
What? Whoa. Wait, what? The
Yeah,
fuck
that
just
was-
happened?
The guy's
that-
always
yeah.
going, and you
What do you
need to
mean
get
by
your
that?
head out of the gutter, man. Like, I'm
That was
worried
crazy,
about
bro.
you guys. That's so weird, bro.
What? I'm weird?
Hey man,
Dog,
go
who's
ahead,
weird?
man. Yeah, I'm about to go ahead and call him. Hey, but no, we gotta let Oster get in there. Oh wait, Ty, did you
Yeah,
guys?
Oster.
Were you done? Ty, my fault.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Ty, man. Shout out to Oscar. Shout out to Irony, man. Talk to me, Oster.
No, I was just saying Canelo's a hoe.
Yeah. I'm about to get on your head, Ty. That's where I knew you was going. Come on, go ahead. Come on with it. Come on
You're
with it.
fucking right.
Come on with it.
Yeah, you fucking right.
Come on
I'm
with it.
just saying. All I'm saying is this. First of all, Canelo, it's a lot of things I'm saying that you do that you never done. You know a lot of talking right now too. Learning English and all this type of shit. You doing all this shit to explain. You doing all this shit to explain the loss when you lose. You better get this shit right.
Facts.
For real. So
I agree with that.
how you gonna ask the people? How you gonna ask the man on national TV? You try to stare narrative, Canelo. When is this? You ask for a small ring, Canelo? For real? Canelo, Mr. Power, Mr. Ring Man, Mr. I could cut the ring off and all that. You ask for a small ring. See, me personally, I take that as whole talk. That's just me. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I take that
I
as
agree
whole
with
talk.
it.
So I'm just saying, like, I don't know where that come from. I don't know what's going on. And you saying things, I'm gonna train hard. Listen, I mean, Canelo looking a little timid, man. And then the little walk down. You know what? I got out the little walk down, the little punk push, the little fake push.
Yeah.
Fuck the push. Fuck the push. I think Canelo pushed because he said he couldn't stop this motherfucker from walking him. You know what I mean? So he stopped and pushed him because he done walked him 2-3 steps already, and he laughing. I'm like, yeah, I'm showing you
He
what it
done
is,
walked
man.
50 yards, boy. That was crazy.
Yeah, I'm showing you what it is, boy. I'm showing you what it is, straight up. And we ain't even aggressive right now. We just got our little chest. I'm showing you what it is, and you're gonna laugh at you. But I don't know, man. I see some hole in Canelo, man. I'm telling you. I think Canelo gonna overtrain. I think he'll overtrain and eat some steaks. I think that's what he's gonna do. I think he's gonna overtrain
Hey,
and
chill
eat
out,
some
man.
steaks.
Don't do my boy like that.
No,
I will say
no,
this
I know,
though.
I'm just
I
saying,
will say this though, Oster. See, you switched it up a little bit because when you first said it, I think Irony was talking. You said it. I heard it. You said nobody was talking about it, but I'm glad you switched it up. Okay, I'm about to say now. Come on now. You gotta show me some love now, bruh. I know you saw my video because you spoke on it, but this is why I rock with you because everything you just said, I also said, and I'm a Canelo fan, right? You see what I'm saying? I keep it funky, man. I agree with everything you just said. The only part I was gonna push back is that when you said that no one said, I'm about to say, come on now, you know I talked about it, but I do agree with you. I thought it looked bad, but it is what he's doing is pandering. You know what I'm saying? Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, you know I be answering your videos. I be sending you messages like, yo.
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, this
but I did talk about it though. You know, I talked about him. I don't like that look. I feel like he's pandering to the crowd. Same with Skull, right? When he fought Skull, I didn't like the fact that he stood in the middle of the ring and waved his hands. I didn't like when McCauley did it against the Jogger either. So it's not just like Canelo. I don't like when they do that because right now it seems like we are trying to manipulate boxing and essentially sabotage it, bro. Like we're trying to change what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you just got to come to me. And if you don't come to me, then you're weak or you don't know how to fight or you don't want to be a boxer. I don't like that, man. Yeah, I don't like that at all. So I don't care if it's coming from Canelo, Tank, Shakur, or Beterbiev or whoever's coming. I don't like that. I thought that was garbage.
Yeah, I agree with that. No, and also to your point, it's like I don't think I will give some pushback. Like, I don't think the shoving and all that. It was to me, it looked scripted. If you ask me.
Yeah, I heard some people say that. It looks scripted, yeah.
But no, I agree. Like that. I need to make it a small ring.
Yeah.
And then also, it seems like they're dragging Crawford into a backfight.
Yeah.
Not just Canelo. Not just Canelo. It's just like the whole environment.
Right.
It seems like they're dragging him into a dark side.
But I think though, I think that Okay.
No, and though I like it as an spectator, I wouldn't like it for Crawford. I think he needs to fight his fight. Canelo needs to fight his fight.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought the first press conference was perfect. You know, they both gave each other their flowers. They both acknowledged each other gonna be tough fights, and they should have just kept it at that. You know, in my opinion, or at least for now, because the fight ain't until September. You know, so it's like still quite a bit to go.
Yeah.
But I think. But
yeah,
yeah,
I'll say this too in response.
I
to
agree
what Oscar
100%
said.
with you.
I might be naive too, you know, but I've been seeing a lot of people say it's scripted. I can see why they say that. I don't necessarily think it was scripted though. I just think that
I don't necessarily
think that
Terrence
Crawford.
Like, it looked that way.
Yeah, I'm not mad at anybody thinking that, but I don't think so. And especially when you consider like the WWE being involved, of course, so it could look scripted. You know, it's the second one trying to build intrigue, but I just think what it was is that Terrence Crawford caught Canelo off guard. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about like his, you know, like his last few opponents. You know, they've been kind of like timid. I'm not saying that to be disrespectful to them, but they just weren't really approaching like the way Terrence Crawford approached him. You know, it's like when someone catch you off guard, like, hold on now, and then he already had the momentum, so it was too late. So I think that Canelo was just like, hey man, back up off me. You know what I'm saying? So that's like, I think they both did the right thing. I think they both did the right thing.
Closer because he's the one that said it. He said, "Bud ain't no bitch. He ain't gotta back down like these fools did." Oster's the one that said it in this town, at least.
I don't think that it's scripted. You know why I don't think that it's scripted? For real, I don't think it's scripted because I think if it was scripted, the reason why my reason why I don't think that it's scripted is that if I said if it was scripted, Bud would act like he was mad. Bud laughed. When he laughed, because when he pushed him, remember Canelo wasn't laughing. He pushed him like 2-3 steps, and then when he pushed, because Bud was laughing when he was pushing him, he was laughing like, yeah. You know how you was doing when you was a kid. He was laughing, and then he pushed him, but Bud got serious, but he still had a smile on his face. But if it was scripted, I think Bud would have like play like he was really mad to make it real tension. And because Canelo ain't say nothing. Canelo ain't do nothing. He was just chilling, like You know what I mean? So I can't say I don't think.
Yeah, go ahead. No,
I was about to say tag me in next.
Yeah. I'm gonna say you go after Oster. Yeah, go ahead, Oster.
And that's why I say that. And then I seen that push. Did y'all see that push Crawford did when he first pushed him? The way Crawford pushed the motherfucker off him. That wasn't scripted. You seen Crawford whole demeanor change. He was like,
when he pushed the other guy. Okay, yeah. When he like pushed the guy that was trying to hold him.
The first one that grabbed him.
The first one that grabbed him.
The second one he calmed down. But that first motherfucker went flying back. He was like, yo, hold up.
Yeah.
Tripping. When he seen Canelo backing up, it wasn't like Canelo was walking forward. They was, backing him up. Bomac was doing all that. But I'm just saying, it's little antics that I see, man. I be telling you about this media. It be little antics, and you change it up. And Canelo, one thing I know Canelo doing, because he never did it before. I don't even think Canelo be on the internet. But I don't even because I've never seen Canelo talk about what's on the internet. He ain't say nothing new in there. He's talking about your resume. That's on the internet. Everybody been talking about that. So you trying to nitpick and just get the crowd you know what I mean, and do all this. You talk about the ring, this the first time. That was just on the internet. You get what I'm saying? This is real shit though. And I'm sitting here looking like, oh, you's a whole Canelo. I see what's up. You trying to steal up a narrative to get some shit going on. But Bud is just thinking about fucking you up. That's why he said it ain't gonna be nothing you can do about it. That's all that's on his mind. You can do all that shit.
I kind of push back a little bit. They all talk about their resume. Like, when Errol Spence even talked about Tank's resume. He was about to fight Frank Martin. You know what I'm saying? Canelo talked about Edgar Berlanga not fighting nobody. I think they always do that. So
but they knew that. But you knew hear out. But we knew Berlanga ain't fight nobody. You knew that. Saying this to somebody that's accomplished. It's a difference. And when you say it to somebody that's accomplished, that's like me telling you, you stupid. You like, I got a doctor's degree, but you still stupid. So what? You still dumb. You get what I'm saying?
But they all, like with Errol Spence and Bud, they've done that. Like I said, with Tank, they do that with Tank and Frank Martin and stuff like that. What's the name was saying that about Tank? Errol Spence was saying that about Tank ain't fighting nobody. And they're friends. You know what I'm saying? I just like
he said it to Bill Joe. He said it to Caleb Plant. He said it, and that was him chasing Undisputed before even Crawford came into the picture. So.
And I agree with also saying you're saying that people already know that, but I feel I see what you're saying, but they always do that, man. And plus, they always try to kill, which I think is wrong. I think they always try to kill Terrence Crawford's resume. I don't get that, but he ain't help himself when he said Ricky Burns, so that was crazy. We gonna let Ty go though. Go ahead, then we gonna let Ty go because I gotta get off. Man. I'm getting hungry.
Real quick, I'll tell you one thing Canelo ain't say. Before you go, what? Oh, this real quick. I'm gonna tell you one thing he ain't say. And one thing that he ain't say, what he normally say, that's what I remember Canelo saying to the last 4-5 opponents. You ain't been in there with me yet. You ain't been in there with me yet. That's why when Crawford said, I'm different, he said, no, you ain't different. He said, no, I'm different. Because Canelo normally be like, okay, when you, I don't hear that. I don't hear the regular Canelo, talk. I don't hear this yet. I don't know if your confidence is all the way up yet, or you just throwing some bullshit out there right now, and you're gonna say, I'm gonna really train hard for this fight. You better.
He does seem a little. He does seem a little different. I will say that, but I don't know if it's in a bad way yet. I don't know if it's a bad or good.
But to be fair, it's like in the first press conference, they said it all. It's like, this ain't no easy fight. This is a tough fighter, but like they're great fighters. You know what I mean?
Right.
They said it, so it's not like he just said, "But it's a bump."
Right.
And just ran.
We're gonna let Ty go ahead, Ty. Before you go, Ty, give me a quick second. Shout out to my guy Ryan Frazier, Boxing Talk up north, man. I appreciate that renewing that membership, man. I appreciate you, bro. He said he's staying for 30 more days. He's not going nowhere. Shout out to my guy Ryan.
I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving.
Give me a second.
Don't say something before you go.
The show goes on.
Ryan says Ricardo Brown is gonna KO Arslanbek on Friday. Hey, I'm gonna be tuned in, man. I see you too, Clone. I appreciate it. I'm gonna hit you after I'm gonna hit you up after Ty goes. Go ahead, Ty. Sorry about that. I heard you already.
Before I get into my spiel or my soliloquy. Oh, so I just have one quick question before I get into my Stephen A. Smith.
Take your time, bro. Yeah, take your time.
How many fight lead-ups of Canelo's have you actually seen?
Probably about 20. Let me see, probably about since Mayweather, to be honest with you.
So you're seeing the whole long drawn-out thing with Caleb Plant, Triple G, and Laura, right?
Yeah, Laura. The fight Laura, he lost that. I don't give a fuck what nobody tell me. We could talk about that one. You want to talk about that one? We could talk about that. Now,
here's why I'm getting into it. I've been watching the back and forth between Bud and Canelo. I don't think Canelo was on no hoe shit. There is some WWE elements because both guys got an agreement. We gonna say some things. We got to sell this motherfucker.
That's right.
There's certain things I'm gonna say. It'd be different if they were not signed to fight and he's sitting there nitpicking and talking shit over somebody's resume. No, we are already signed to fight. This is common banter between fighters. Happen all the time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a step further with this. Who did that?
This man Oscar. You know who did it.
Finish. I got an answer. Finish.
I saw two dudes that are dogs. That Canelo, this and the third. We seen him. He kept it cordial until he didn't have to. That push was him saying, "Look, we promoting the fight, or we promoting the fight."
Yeah, you're doing too much
That's
now. Relax.
how he got smacked.
Yep. Facts.
Like Canelo will sit there and jaw with you if that's what we doing. He all he do is reciprocate the energy that's given.
All right. I mean, can I go?
Hell no. I'm supposed to be Irony. Go ahead, Irony. And then,
I wanted to go, but if they want to stay on the topic for a second, I can go.
Ain't no second, bro. Y'all gotta hurry up. I'm about to get off, man.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear on something because when we hint and say favoritism is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, we can all, as grown men, admit that in boxing we all do that, right, to a degree, right, with certain people that we like and what have you. So
you do it more than most, but go ahead.
Actually, that would be you. But anyway,
that's crazy.
Projecting right now, buddy. But
that's crazy.
Good try, nice try. Anyway, I just, in all seriousness, though, for real, I don't think that's a bad thing because as human beings, we're gonna do that, bro. Like it's kind of like our nature. So I don't see that's a bad thing. I just see it's a bad thing when you, on the same sentence, say that you thought this person won that fight, but in the same sentence, it don't make sense to make the trilogy. And that's what I find, whack.
That's crazy.
But you know, that's all. That's all. Go ahead, Oscar. You guys got a thing going on there.
No, now what I'm saying is that when with Ty, what you was just talking about with Canelo, and let me remember because you just talk. I ain't kind of lost. What just remind me again, Ty? Because I had a certain thought, and I don't want to run around with it.
I was basically saying I didn't see no hole in Canelo because I'm not looking at it like I have a bet, like some type of vested interest for one of the fighters. I do see Bud winning, but I'm looking at it from a neutral standpoint. Both fighters came in. It was a little bit of like a WWE element to how they were bringing up stuff that you see on the internet. Basically, how they jawing back and forth. Yeah, they had a little pushing, this and that, but they just trying to sell the fight. Now, it was something I didn't address earlier, like the 18 by 18 ring. Canelo was just saying that just to get fan engagement. If the man truly wanted it, it would have happened. Why? Because Canelo was an ASOP.
That's a good
If
point.
he truly wanted to put Bud in any size ring, it would have happened. He would have told that man, you will wear these gloves, you will be in this ring, and you will walk out at this time. But that's not the case.
That's not.
These dudes are just having, competitive banter to sell the fight.
I respect that. But what I'm saying is this: I respect that. I'm not knocking that because it could be. What I'm saying could be false, or it could be false, true, or not. What I'm saying is this: first of all, about making orders and being A side and this and that. It ain't no restrictions on the fight, so you could have put all that on the table from the beginning. Because what I go by is, probably like 8 months ago. Because this conversation today is completely different. This fight was already going to be the fight. It was already going to make money. They don't really got to promote this one. You got to promote these other fights. No, but hear me out. You got to promote these other fights. I'm just saying in my term, because this is a fight that's not supposed to be a fight. This is an event fight. This is a fight that this is a fight. This is a fight that didn't pop up today. They're not in the same weight class, so it ain't none of that's going on. This is a fight that's based on restrictions, so it was no restrictions. All the belts on the line, this and that. If you want, that's why I said Canelo talking about what the internet is talking about, because this is new. That I've never seen Canelo talk in this manner before a fight. Never.
I disagree. But that's what Ty is saying too, though. Like you said, it's the different weight classes and stuff. That's why they got to promote it, because some people think it's just an event. You know what I'm saying? And they're trying to reassure us that it's going to be intriguing and people are going to hold up their end of the bargain. But fellas, I'm about to go ahead and call it, man. Y'all know y'all can chill in the back. I'm gonna go ahead and slide though, man. Gotta get me some food.
I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, you already know, man. Irony, thank you for coming through, man. Yeah, I'm gonna keep y'all on there, man. Oster, man, I appreciate you, bro. Irony, appreciate you. Ty, Oscar, man, appreciate y'all both, man. God bless you.
I'm sorry. Let me tell you something real quick, Doctor. I'm sorry if I cut you off sometimes because I get excited and I can tell like you're trying to get something in there, and I just can't help myself sometimes.
No, you're good, bro. Yeah, no, I appreciate that, but we all do it too. I don't take no offense to it, man. Yeah, but thank you though. I appreciate it, man. All y'all.
Doc, no closing statement.
Yeah, go ahead. Close the statement. We start with Oscar since it's his idea.
Yeah, closing statement. Bro, if you're trying to get into soccer, or if you're intrigued by soccer, because the World Cup is around the corner, and if you're in the States and you got to go to this event, bro, even if you don't get in the field, just go to this event. There's a FIFA World Cup going on right now. It's fire, It's got the best teams around the countries. The best teams in countries meeting up together. Just watch it, because next year there's the World Cup. You got to go. I'm telling you, it's a different energy that you never felt before.
Hey,
but
one time for the World Cup.
Aside from that, Leo, stop ducking. On contract. And Bernardo Lopez needs his shot back.
That's crazy. A shot to Bernardo Lopez's return. Oster, you got something for me? I'm just going in line.
Crawford and 8.
Crawford. It's a date. Crawford and 8. Shout out to my guy Oster, man. I already talked to me, man.
Hey, man. I appreciate you, man. Amanda's gonna beat Katie's ass. And what else we got here? Canelo. Anyway, there's some.
He said Canelo. That's it. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Canelo, enough.
Enough said. It's crazy. Greatness.
Listen, I appreciate it. I respect the hell out of you guys, because you guys are whack as I am, as am I. But you stick with your guy, and I definitely respect that a whole hell of a lot. So
Shout out to you,
yeah,
bro.
let's
Go ahead, Ty. I appreciate you, Irony. Go ahead, Ty. Don't forget to smack that like button, man.
Look, I'm shooting back for the average fighters. I think it's wrong that Amanda is doing her best Oscar De La Hoya impression. Stop using your promotion to force things onto fighters that have other business to handle.
Wait, Amanda's wearing lingerie? Sign me up.
Nah, she don't wear that. It's the opposite. She's wearing boxers.
Hey, man, y'all crazy. We said the opposite. Hey, man, shout out to y'all fellas, man. I appreciate y'all gentlemen, man. Y'all be
Shout out
easy,
to you,
man.
brother.
Yeah, thank you, man. God bless y'all, man. Hey, Chad, I'm about to go ahead and call it, man, but I did want to salute my guy dropping the hello yellow on a fellow, dropping the graffiti on the chat walls with that bread, that cheese, that butter. Shout out to my guy Clone, man, dropping the $10, man. I really appreciate that support, man. My guy Clone says, ain't gonna lie, I seen Bud on Carl Froch YouTube channel. That man looked directly at Froch and it was like, I'd beat you too. He got me changing my pick right now. hey, Terrence Crawford don't be playing, man. Hey, Carl Froch is funny. Who Carl Froch picked to win? Clone, I didn't see that interview. Carl Froch is one of those fighters that I liked when he was a fighter, but as a commentator, not so much. He be saying nonsense and he be hating on people. He like a UK Paulie Malignaggi, man. They be hating too much. Like Paul Malignaggi hate on Canelo and Tank. Carl Froch hate on AJ and some others, man. But yeah, man. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate that, Clone. Shout out to everybody that showed some love in the super chat. We definitely went over time. I was trying to do 2 hours. We ended up doing 3. Shout out to Big Dog Willie with the $5, Oster with the $5, Oscar with the $5, Clone with the $5, and then my guy Ryan with the renewal of his membership. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that, man. We need more members, man. And shout out to my guy Clone for the $10 to end the show, man. That's big love. And then we gonna hit the Cash App as well. We got a little bit of love in the Cash App, man. We got my boy Clone hit me with the $10, and we got Oscar hit me with the $10, man. Shout out to all the love and support I get from my brothers, man. I appreciate y'all, man. It's hard for me to get off of this thing. That's why I stay on so long, because I love talking to boxing, but I gotta go get some food. Starting to get a little headache, so I don't want that to happen. So I appreciate y'all rocking as always. I will be back on in the morning, good Lord willing, as long as we have some stuff to talk about, which I'm sure we will, and as long as my internet hold up. You know what I'm saying? So I apologize for missing the morning show this morning, but it was just the weather and stuff like that. But we will be on tomorrow morning. We should be on, man. So I appreciate y'all rocking as always. Don't forget to smack that like button if you haven't done so already. But most importantly, remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.